Marvel grabbed a drawer of infinity gems at the beginning. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76 Magneto takes action and plays with him. The voice was very soft and magnetic, as casual as chatting with old friends. It should have been inaudible from such a distance, but now it was like speaking in ear. The person who came was naturally Chen Xi. The Red Queen had already informed him that it was very lively here, and everyone should who be there and who shouldn't be there were here. Iron Man? Oh my god. Iron Man, of Iron Man. He sounds obviously younger. I also discovered that, instead of Tony, did Iron Man develop his own team? There are too many crimes, and it's normal for Iron Man to be too busy. Ha ha ha. Then do we also have a chance to participate? After everyone saw the golden and red steel armor, their enthusiasm was directly detonated. Same. Suddenly a sharp-eyed guy pointed at someone and shouted Farco. That's Magneto. God, is really him, the villain Magneto? No. It's dangerous. Magneto can control a metal, so wouldn't Iron Man be in danger? Iron Man, run. Run. Magneto can control a metal, you are no match. The onlookers suddenly realized that this was Magneto movement for decades. How can the shadow of a tree and a person's name be erased? Ever since, everyone shouted for Iron Man to leave. Their steel armor was too fragile in front of Magneto. Even if you just wave your hand, the steel armor will be crushed like a piece of paper. At this time, even Chen Xi didn't expect that Tony, a guy with a bad personality, had such a strong fan base. It seems that the Free America really worships individual heroism, so there will be articles to write about in the future. He also knew that the steel armor was not good, and he would definitely suffer a loss against Magneto. He could not scrap such a good steel armor. Red Queen, you can control the steel armor and go back. After saying that, he teleported out of the steel armor. There are no tools to disassemble it. Yes, Lord, the Red Queen agreed, directly controlled the steel armor and left. Oh my god, he is Asian. So handsome. You are blind. That is Iron Man, Tony Stark's cousin from the Dragon Kingdom. Fake, you are blind. Tony must be much older than him. As long as you have a degree in kindergarten, you won't be unable to read newspaper news, right? Ha ha ha, a bunch of fools. Everyone took a closer look and saw that this was the mysterious guy on the news, known as Tony's eldest cousin. This is a real hammer. If he wasn't Tony Stark's eldest cousin, how could he also have a steel armor? They slowly began to believe it at this moment. They began to pay attention to the changes in the situation on the field. They knew that this cousin of the Dragon Kingdom was very special and knew the legendary Dragon Kingdom's magic. In recent years, they have suffered from the export of Longo's online culture, and various websites have made a lot of money by translating online articles. If you see it too much, won't you start to fantasize about it? If people can write like that, they may have actually seen it, just like they think that people in the Dragon Kingdom know Kung Fu. Chen Xi? You really shouldn't underestimate it. Your mutant abilities are really scary. Magneto's heart sank when he saw Chen Xi suddenly appeared. This guy is so incapable of reasoning with common sense that a mutant ability appears from time to time. Suddenly an idea occurred to him. It would be great if he could lead them mutants, so who can bully them mutants? No need to hide in dark corners like mice. Children can be like normal children without being abandoned and discriminated against. The vast majority of mutants are really weak. He is really old now. He is over 80 years old. Even though he looks like he is in his 50s, he and Charles are really too tired. Living in darkness for half a century, their hearts are already riddled with holes. Hearing Magneto's sigh, Chen Xi smiled non-committally. How many more do I know? You will know later. Chen Xi had no intention of doing anything to him. He just did different things from different angles. Really? I'll wait and see. Magneto's eyes were calm, and the terrifying magnetism began to condense in the palm of his hand. As the boss of the fraternity, he naturally cannot watch his younger brother being beaten unconscious and remain indifferent. Magneto, this is not the place to do anything. You don't want mutants and humans to go to war, do you? Chen Xi said lightly. Yes, this is the city center. Then let's fight in Qian Park on the outskirts, Magneto suddenly said. Okay, as you wish, Chen Xi smiled. It was a gift delivered to his door. He turned to number 18 and said, Lally, take Kingrade directly to the suburbs. Don't go home. I'll be right back, then be careful. the girl said with concern. Don't worry, Chen Xi smiled confidently. Kuei still wants to say something to Wanda, but now is not the time, there is plenty of time. Pulling Magneto to move at high speed, he arrived at Qian Park in a few seconds. Chen Xi naturally followed him there. Everyone on Fifth Avenue was either disappointed or lucky. They missed a wonderful battle, but their lives were saved. Suburban parks, it's time to take action. Magneto's eyes were sharp, and then he waved his hand, and suddenly several steel spears shot from the sky towards Chen Xi like arrows. Steel spear turned into a frozen spear, controlling it to shoot straight towards Magneto's body. He can't control a metal, but he can freeze it and still control it. It's just that Magneto really has two brushes, and the frozen spear suddenly stopped when it entered the 3-meter range of him. Bang! Under the dual abilities, the steel that was almost shattered by freezing was stirred by magnetic force and instantly exploded into fragments all over the sky. There's something, Lao Wan, Chen Xi smiled faintly, then his eyes narrowed, and he stretched out his right hand and shook it into the void. Endless crystal clear light slowly gathered, staining the setting sun with a layer of blood red. Go for it. With a soft drink, countless ice picks shot out in the direction of Magneto. In an instant, Magneto's front, back, left and right were surrounded by endless sharp ice picks, as if there was nowhere to hide. It's just that Magneto didn't panic, quickly raised his body, and firmly grasped the pipes in the ground. As long as they were metal, they immediately deformed. Chen Xi controlled the ice cone to change direction quickly, and with a bang, a huge steel wall formed directly in front of Magneto. Boom, boom, boom. There was a dense sound of impact, but it only knocked out small craters in the steel wall, but Magneto was not affected at all. Humph, you are worthy of being the boss of the Brotherhood, Chen Xi snorted coldly. He was able to lead mutants for so many years, so he was definitely not a vegetarian. P.S. Many people say it has nothing to do with the infinite gems. The author promises that at most 5 chapters will incorporate a space gem, and there will be a big plot that you can't even imagine. Chapter 77 Your King is Not Me. Since the opponent is playing Wall of Steel, it will be easier to handle. Zhu's Hanji has played the charcoal roasted second uncle, so today he will charcoal roast Magneto. I don't believe this old guy can bear it. Chen Xi took out a lighter, and with a swish, a fire dragon sprang out and rushed towards the steel fortress. Boom. A fire dragon wraps around like a dragon out of the sea, but this is not the end, just the beginning. Chen Xi used a lighter to spray out fire dragons one after another, pouring towards the tortoise shell in a steady stream. 1, 2, 3, 10. Anyway, Chen Xi's physical strength is almost unlimited, so why should he be afraid? But seeing such trouble, Chen Xi was very unhappy. The temperature was too low, and it was just ordinary fire, but quantitative changes lead to qualitative changes. This dense fire dragon surrounded the tortoise shell and caused the heat, which was not pleasant. The thermal conductivity of metal is quite good. Although the temperature of the flame is not high, it still makes Magneto sweat profusely and his whole body is about to smoke. Wow wow wow. Magneto can't stand it anymore. The tortoise's shell was opened in one stroke and he jumped out. It's just that his current image is unbearable to look at. The dark red shirt looks like it was fished out of the water. No, his whole person looks like he was fished out of the water. He didn't dare to take it off. Do you think he was angry or not? Just like a cooked crayfish. Magneto greedily breathed in the fresh air outside, like a dehydrated fish finding a small pond, which almost suffocated him to death. Young people have their own tricks. Lao Wan was bent over, breathing hard, and looking at Chen Xi with a frown. The eyes are full of fear and envy, but more importantly, they are a kind of appreciation and expectation. He is the future of mutants, the hope of mutants. If he is willing to accept the entire mutant race, then he must take a back seat to Charles and make him king. Make him the king of their mutants. Although Chen Xi couldn't get anything useful from Magneto's head, he could understand his eyes. This is the infinite expectation for him and the infinitely bright future of mutants. Magneto is not wrong, and neither are ordinary people. This is the law of nature. Elimination. Elimination. Endless elimination. Just like H. sapiens eliminated Neanderthals, H. sapiens won and Neanderthals disappeared. Chen Xi met Magneto's expectant gaze and slowly said, Eric, your goal will eventually be achieved, but this person may not be me, maybe Wanda, maybe Charles' son Daquan, or Jean Grey. This is not a movie world. It does not need the approval of the audience or the country. They will not sit back and watch mutants perish. Chen Xi's words were like a bolt from the blue, which stunned Magneto. He felt that Chen Xi was teasing him. That stinking rock named Charles actually has a son? How is that possible? In this book, I won't write that Wanda and Kuai are Lao Wan's children according to other people's settings. Are you sure? Are saved? Magneto laughed crazily. Even if he were to die now, he would die without regrets, as long as mutants prosper. He chose to believe in Chen Xi because he knew that this young man had shown too many incredible abilities since his debut. Maybe predicting the future is just one of his abilities, and there's no need to lie to him. So, should we still fight? Chen Xi looked at the somewhat crazy Magneto and chuckled. No fight, no fight, I admit defeat. Magneto waved his hands repeatedly, and he was convinced. He knew that he was no match for Chen Xi. Well, I have a suggestion. You can talk to Charles's X-Men. After all, there will be many crises in the future, and I won't be able to talk about it, now that they have met. He doesn't want the mutants to fight on their own and consume them endlessly. Absolutely not. What's the crisis? When Magneto heard this, his heart tightened and he asked quickly, alien invasion, genetically modified food. Chen Xi replied casually that he knew this. The country went all out to produce genetically modified food, but as a result, there were no more new mutants. One less person dies, just like boiling frogs in warm water. Alien invasion? Genetically modified food. Genetically modified food is really extremely vicious. This is unprecedented. Upon hearing this, Magneto's eyes narrowed and he frowned with murderous intent. He never expected such a result. He had to discuss it with Charles. The matter was important and related to the entire mutant community. He could not make the decision alone. Chen Xi, thank you, otherwise I can't imagine what kind of disaster and blow this would be. Destruction. Chen Xi thought to himself, you are my fish pond. There are too many mutants in the future, and that means endless abilities. I can't let you die no matter what. Of course, only he knows this, it is his only secret. Magneto here couldn't wait to discuss with Charles, hurriedly shook hands and said goodbye, and asked Quicksilver to take him away. Kuai, a spirited young man, travels very quickly. Watching Magneto and the two leave, Chen Xi grinned widely. Double happiness is coming. Double happiness is coming. I didn't expect that it was so heartwarming, and countless people watched the movie and the heart-pounding scenes were revealed so quickly. He will also be a scene person in the future. The Golden Gate Bridge? Then why not go to Ho-Ho once? No? Would that be worthy of the hints that countless movies have given him? System, extract it, Chen Xi said impatiently. Items? This time, 1 million is extracted. Extract, ding. 1 million points will be deducted from the host and the withdrawal will begin. Please wait a moment, host, ding, the extraction is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting Magneto's telepathy helmet, puff. The sound of the system made Chen Xi spit out blood. Grandma is so stupid, how can she withdraw such a piece of rubbish for only 1 million? 1 million, continue, Chen Xi gritted his teeth and roared, as if he was squeezing it out of his throat. He is the chosen one. How could you be so disrespectful? Ding. Host, this forced withdrawal requires double deduction of points. Ding. 2 million points will be deducted from the host and the withdrawal will begin. Please wait a moment, host. Ding. The extraction was successful. Congratulations to the host for gaining the ability to control the magnetic field. Is the host fused? Merge. Chen Xi's happiness has long since disappeared. 2 million, just gone. Chapter 78 Fusion of Magnetic Control, Captain America found it. Ding, the fusion for the host has started. Please wait for the host, the fusion time is a bit long this time, and the more powerful the ability, the more so host. Ding, the plot character Quicksilver Pietro has been detected. Do you want to extract his abilities or items? This time, 500,000 points are withdrawn. After extracting Magneto's, it's now time to extract Quicksilver's. Extract, Chen Xi said immediately. Ding. 500,000 points will be deducted from the host and the withdrawal will begin. Please wait a moment, host. Ding. The extraction was successful. Congratulations to the host for gaining the ability to move at high speeds. Is the host fused? Merge. Ding. The fusion for the host has started. Please wait for the host. Ding. It has been detected that the host has the ability to move at super speed, and we have begun to fuse the two abilities for the host. Please wait. This time the system was silent again, and the fusion took a long time. After all, it was the fusion of two abilities. It took nearly 10 minutes before the system made any sound. Ding. High-speed mobile fusion is successful. Please check the host yourself. This time it's perfect. Another 2 abilities gained, which is great. It would be better if it didn't cost $1 million more. Try it. The taste of magnetic control. Chen Xi felt very itchy. This was one of the abilities he felt he could best pretend to have. Just do what he said. He lightly grabbed the remaining metal fragments on the ground, and in the blink of an eye, the metals piled up in front of him. You can do whatever you want. They will do whatever you want them to do. Zilla. Chen Xi used his mental power to control them and begin to deform, and slowly all the metals began to merge strangely, just like steel liquid being poured into shape. In the next 10 seconds, all the metal fragments merged into a black and gray giant sword 5 meters long and 1 meter wide. Chen Xi jumped onto the giant sword in one step and controlled the giant sword to slowly rise into the air and float. Hey, let's go. Today we are sword immortals. Sword flying, whoosh. Chen Xi controlled the giant sword to fly quickly. Standing on the giant sword and flying in the clouds, he really felt like a peerless swordsman. Has he fulfilled his dream of being a swordsman? He can travel the world with his sword and see the prosperity of the world. East, oh God. What the Dragon Kingdom novel said is right. Sword immortal. Sword immortal. This is the sword immortal. Ha ha ha. He is really a swordsman. I want to go to the Dragon Kingdom. I want to learn from his master. Take me. Take me. 1. Chen Xi moved his sword across the sky, and the rouge-red flaming clouds gave him a dreamy look. Against the backdrop of the sunset, he looked as misty as a fairy. What he didn't know was that the tickets to Dragon Country the next day were sold out, even if it was a month later. As long as you're going to the Dragon Kingdom, it doesn't matter where. No. Following the filming of the video, the United States began to become restless. Seeking immortals. Go to the Dragon Kingdom to seek immortals. Chen Xi didn't know that his appearance would cause an earth-shaking tsunami. If he had known, he would have flown a few more times. System, open the properties panel. Ding, the properties panel has been opened. The host can check it by himself. Host, Chen Xi age 22 level, sub-heavenly father level physique, frost giant physique ability. Water control level A, 10 kilometers range, ice type S level, minus 150 degrees Celsius, fire control level B, 1000 degrees, carbon temperature transformation, second to original admin and vibranium, teleportation level A, earth range, super speed S class, 2000 kilometers per second, super self-healing S level, any damage is healed within 1 second, telepathy level A, magnetic control level A items, time stone, space stone, reality stone, power stone, mind stone, soul stone, NPCs, an umbrella hive factory subordinates, Android number 18, Terminator TX points. 7.9 million points bioenergy. 3,850 points. Chen Xi, who was flying, looked at his dashboard, looked at his points, and got to know his abilities again. His movement speed has doubled, and with a blessing of telepathy, his fire control ability has also been upgraded. The most important thing is that I have extracted the control of magnetism. Once I become proficient in it, I can exert the power of the Yuan Magneto. After all, Magneto's physical strength and spirit are incomparable to his own. They are too different, so his abilities will naturally be different. Whoosh! Putting away the sword pretend, Chen Xi prepared to go find Qin Gray. Now that this little girl has awakened, she may have destroyed a lot of land. He took out his cell phone and dialed number 18. Lally, where are you, master? We are in Queen's Forest Park. You can sense it when we arrive. Lally quickly reported her location. Calmed down, but the surrounding flowers, plants and trees have suffered, destroyed by the power of telekinesis that was not controlled by Qin Gray. It was like a dog chewing, and it was a mess. Master, you are here. We don't know whether this girl has fully awakened, so we don't dare to get close. That's right, this girl made too much noise. Fortunately, this is deep in the forest, otherwise she would have been discovered long ago. As soon as the two women saw Chen Xi, they immediately rushed towards him like swallows returning to their nest. The two of them had no choice but to watch helplessly. As soon as Chen Xi came, they seemed to have found their backbone. It's okay, let me take a look. Chen Xi pinched their little faces, comforted them, and then walked in the direction of Qin Gray. It's very simple to confirm whether she has awakened. Chen Xi walked to Qin Gray, who was sitting quietly, and slowly put his hand on her little head. Sure enough, he got the answer. Ding, the plot character Phoenix Girl Qin Gray has been detected. Do you want to extract her abilities or items? This time, 5 million points will be withdrawn. The system gave the answer immediately: extraction. Then he said to Wanda and the other two, "It's okay. She has awakened. It's just that her mental strength and physical strength have been exhausted too much. Just rest and rest." When the two women heard this, they patted their hearts and let out a long breath. Just be okay. Be okay. Picking up Kinjele, Chen Xi and the others immediately teleported back to their home in Dabai, which was already habitable. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Suddenly, a satellite phone call came in. Chen Xi's heart skipped a beat. He knew Captain America had found it. Chapter 79. The American team is born and detonates the United States. Hey, boss, the person you mentioned who is frozen has been found. We are now ready to return. We will still return to the port of Maple Leaf Country and take away this frozen man. This time we cannot take a plane. We will first transfer to Maple Leaf Country and drive back to the United States. It will probably take 4 or 5 days to get back to New York. Bayo and quickly explained his plan to Chen Xi on the phone. No need. Now tell me your longitude and latitude, and I will be there immediately. Now that he has found it, what is he waiting for? Can the time be better? But Bayo and over there was stunned, and he confirmed again. Boss, could you please repeat that again? Did I hear wrongly? I'll be there immediately. You heard me right. I said I'll be here immediately, and tell me your latitude and longitude coordinates. Chen Xi repeated it again. Okay, boss, I think you are joking with me, but I decided to follow the arrangements of money. Who told you to be the boss? God, I must be crazy. How can I believe that someone can travel thousands of kilometers in an instant? Bayo muttered a lot, then shrugged and told Chen Xi the latitude and longitude coordinates. Don't blink. Chen Xi smiled mysteriously. Okay, I won't blink. Bayo held back his smile and cooperated very well with Chen Xi. He thought this was just a joke. Just as he was looking at the phone with a smile, someone suddenly tapped him on the shoulder. Bang! The phone dropped. Fake. Boss? I'm not dreaming, am I? Hiss. As he spoke, he pinched himself hard, and the excruciating pain told him that this was not a dream. It was real. Oh. God? Boss, you are an immortal from the Dragon Kingdom, right? He could not speak coherently. He was jumping hard and his eyes were filled with surprise. Hey. Brothers. Come on, our boss is a god. A god. Bayo had already jumped onto the splint and shouted loudly at several nearby freighters. What, boss, you lied to us again? That's right, the boss is far away in the United States and is playing tricks on us. All laughed at Bayon's whims. Fake. Look at me with your eyes wide open. Who is behind me? Bayon yelled angrily. A group of sticks and cones. The crew members were stunned and shouted out, "Oh. Fark. What a boss. Oh, buy it. The boss is right, boss. He is a god from the Dragon Kingdom, except foreign apprentices, and the teachings are not spread to others." They really saw Chen Xi. This incredible thing really happened. They exclaimed that the gods are here. Haha, brothers, if you believe in science, how can there be gods in this world? It's pure nonsense. After Chen Xi finished speaking, he put away the frozen Steve and floated away. Oh. Bye. Karma. Only the whole floor was left with exclamations. Wanda. Looking at the empty basement, Chen Xi raised his hand and waves of ice appeared, creating ice from the void. The temperature of the entire basement dropped at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the temperature soon fell below zero. Bang! Chen Xi took out Steve and put it gently on the ground. It was considered that he was settled, but he must not drop it. Steve is a valuable guy and needs to be sold at a good price. Won't drop that much. Steve, you have to thank me for letting you see the light of day 2 years earlier, otherwise you will still be in the dark place. Chen Xi looked at the frozen Steve and murmured to himself, thinking exactly how to maximize his value. The Red Queen, if his blood is extracted, can a super soldier be cloned? Master, not necessarily, but there is a high probability of failure. His body is an acquired mutation, not a natural one. However, his blood still has a great effect. It allows us to study how to increase the multiplier of T-virus serum enhancement on human body quality. After a little calculation, the Red Queen knew that the probability of such a thing was very low, and a super soldier was really useless. That is to say, the symbolic meaning is greater than the strength. Once her T-virus is fully applied, it will completely destroy the so-called super soldiers. Hearing this, Chen Xi was not disappointed. It was just incidental, and he was not short of a super soldier. This is the real world. Do we still expect OAA to appear and give Steve a 50-50 halo? If this is the case, Chen Xi really has nothing to say. There is no director forcing extra scenes, no embarrassing 50-50 split. A protagonist with only a little over a ton of strength, wouldn't he be useless? Forget it, it's just a piece of vibranium. Queen Hong, go and get a container and a blood-drawing needle. Okay, Lord. The Red Queen now controls the steel armor to get a set of tools that have been prepared long ago. This guy has already had Steve's idea. It can only be said that it is a bit sad that Steve was targeted by Chen Xi. People sleep in the ice, and pots come from the sky. Chen Xi carefully controlled the ice to expose a 3 to 4 mm micro-incision, and then used magnetic force to slowly penetrate the needle deep into the ice. Poof! The needle pierced the artery in his arm. This needle was made of sub-grade adamantium alloy. His skin is tough, but it's no better than a normal person's defense. Everything worked very smoothly, and Chen Xi extracted 800 milliliters of Steve's blood. Still, of course, this is not acceptable within the scope of Chen Xi's consideration. As long as Steve is sold to Nick Fury, he will not care about anything else. The gap was frozen and everything was so seamless. Who could have noticed the tiny pinhole in it would have been healed long ago? The Red Queen, now take over the major portals and spread the news that Captain America Steve Rogers is alive. Talking, Chen Xi inadvertently showed a fox-like smile, this damn charm of manipulating everything behind the scenes. Haha. The Red Queen followed her instructions and used a special scanning light to see through Steve's frozen ice cube and take a clear picture. At this moment, when everyone was taking a break from get off work, suddenly, something terrifying happened. All TV stations and major websites have been captured. What happened next instantly detonated the United States. Slowly, it even detonated the whole world. Chapter 80: Obtaining the Universe Rubik's Cube. The front pages of TV stations and major portal websites are all clear photos. The photos are not scary, but the scary thing is that the content of the photos is a bit creepy. Are you still disappointed and complaining that there are no superheroes in this world? No. America's superhero, the country's defender, Captain America Steve Rogers is still alive. The hero needs someone to rescue him, and only the Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Agency can rescue him. Everyone, take action. Heroes once saved America, and now heroes are waiting for us to save. But in the dozen or so photos of Steve that were posted, his face was pale in every one. One has to wonder, is he alive? But no matter whether it is alive or not, even if it is just a body, we must snatch it back. This is a hero. It was night at this moment, and everyone's passion was ignited in official organization of the United States. The masses poured into the streets and alleys, waving flags and shouting in an orderly manner. We want the superhero Captain America Steve Rogers. We must take back the hero's body no matter what. Is the Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Agency going to betray the United States? Please do something. Various slogans have plunged the whole of New York and the whole of America into madness. The influence of Steve Rogers of the American team is too great. Even the Supreme Council has held an emergency meeting at this moment. They can no longer imagine that if Steve cannot be brought back according to the wishes of the people, then, will their heads be secretly cut off by the crowd? There was already a sea of people outside. They were angry people, a sea of people intent of some well-intentioned people. Rumors are flying everywhere. The support rate of the current parliament suddenly plummeted by 10 points. Isn't it possible that these people are in the opposition? Everyone was present in the emergency meeting room. No matter how busy they were, they put aside everything and came here without delay. Nick Fury, there's a lot of commotion outside. It's widely rumored that your Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency has failed to act. How do you explain this? Brother Black Horse looked at Nick Fury with a dark face. This fellow really didn't let him worry. He is an R. How can it be easy for him? Yeah, Nick Fury, tell me. That's right, there is no smoke without fire. Everyone is saying it, so it must be related to your bureau. No matter what, you have to solve this matter. Before Nick Fury could explain, the old guys at the scene immediately dumped the blame upon him anyway. Someone has to take the blame for this matter, which is unfortunate. There are rumors outside that this matter is related to them, which is just right. Ahem. Nick Fury coughed dryly and stood up, looking around at a group of old foxes with disdain on their faces. You can just blame them. Well, since this matter is directed at S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, I forgot to tell you that we changed our name. Then I am here to tell you that I will be able to solve the case tomorrow, and I have already guessed whose handiwork this is. Please tell all the people now that our aegis will protect everyone's safety. We are their patron saint, What Nick Fury said was quite tough. If he relents and is chased by these old foxes, then let him slap these old guys in the face. Everyone was dumbfounded after hearing this. And they didn't know what to say about all the things they had planned to do to shirk responsibility and take advantage of the opportunity to embed their own people. All the roads are blocked. Nick Fury, you don't follow the rules. Haha, everyone. If nothing happens, I'll leave first. After all, I have to get back Captain America Steve's body. Nick Fury stood up and sneered, turned around and left. Oh, by the way, I disappoint you. When he reached the door, he turned around and yelled at everyone. The properties of this cannon are also very powerful. Everyone's faces turned red and white, and they were so angry that they died. SHIELD is under the jurisdiction of the World Security Council, and they can't intervene forcefully. They can only arrange people secretly, and this best opportunity is missed. This night, at least 300 to 400 million people are destined to suffer from insomnia. They cannot fall asleep at all. Superhero Steve Rogers may be alive. After Nick Fury left, he rushed to Chen Xi's location without stopping. He knew that this was the gift Chen Xi mentioned, unconscious. Ding dong. Ding dong. Nick Fury's anxiety can be seen from the rapid ringing. Queen Red, open the door. Yes, Lord. As soon as the Red Queen opened the door, Nick Fury walked in quickly. Nick Fury is not surprised at all that Chen Xi is waiting for him. Everyone is a smart person, Mr. Chen Xi, I want to see Steve's body first. Nick Fury said straight to the point. No problem, come with me. Chen Xi did not hesitate. When doing business, you are not allowed to let buyers inspect the goods first. In the basement, Nick Fury saw Steve, who was frozen. He observed carefully for a while before confirming that this was America's first superhero, Captain America Steve. What do you want? Nick Fury didn't hesitate and asked directly. Cosmic Rubik's Cube, Chen Xi said, is in our shield. Chen Xi laughed and said, how do you know? There is nothing in this universe that I don't know. I even know the pager Carol gave you. What else don't I know? Oh, that's right. When Nick Fury thought about the Cosmic Cube, it was really not a secret. But the Cosmic Rubik's Cube is too expensive. Let's change the conditions. Chen Xi shook his head. No. If I say Steve is still alive, is he worth it? What? Really? Nick Fury is suspicious by nature, and he sneered at what was said on TV and on the website before, but he didn't expect it to be true. Certainly, Chen Xi's answer made Nick Fury fall into deep thinking. On one side is the Cosmic Rubik's Cube, which they have been studying for many years but still don't know how to use or what it is. They don't even know that it is a space gem. On one side is the national idol Steve, who is still alive. Haha, do you think it's better to form the Avengers with a cube or Steve? Chen Xi suddenly said something casually. This sentence is enlightening. Nick Fury instantly knew what he wanted. Chen Xi knows very well that in doing business, you must know how to grasp the weaknesses of others. In one sentence, Nick Fury was immediately identified. I'll change. I'll go back and get the Cosmic Cube now. An hour later, he came back again, bringing with him the Cosmic Cube and a large army of bodyguards. For you, he directly threw the Cosmic Rubik's Cube to Chen Xi. Chapter 81: The Fusion of 8 Space Gems. Nick Fury asked hundreds of super agents with live ammunition to escort the frozen Steve away, with agents running around to clear the way. It has long been infiltrated into Steve. Although it appears to be extremely powerful, it is actually the largest base of Hydra. Nick Fury, who is kept in the dark, is still complacent, thinking how much SHIELD represents justice. Alexander Pierce, who is far away, is naturally a behind-the-scenes boss like an old fox. Since Nick Fury is disobedient, let's assassinate him. It's just that the timing wasn't right. He had a better candidate and needed to use Nick Fury. Pierce needs this disobedience NR to recruit Captain America Steve into SHIELD and suddenly allow Steve to fully integrate into SHIELD. At that time, Nick Fury was directly kicked out, and naturally he picked up a national idol superhero Steve for nothing. He believes that Nick Fury really has this ability, and he also believes that Steve cannot take orders from anyone. So doesn't his control of this organization mean he controls Steve? Pierce's calculations are ringing. We didn't dare to walk on the main road late at night, it was too chaotic, and even a few hundred of them couldn't stop the surging crowd. So they all ran around in the alleys, which exhausted the agents. They were so angry that they hated these damn NGS. Nick Fury, who was sitting in the car, was grinning from ear to ear. He had already imagined that he had Steve, the most powerful idol in the United States, to cheer up. So what team couldn't build up? Ha ha ha. It's worth exchanging an unusable Rubik's Cube for a super mascot, Steve. The more Nick Fury thought about it, the more valuable it became. He knew that the cosmic cube was quite valuable, but he still chose to exchange it. He is an extremely realistic person. 1,000 birds in the forest is not as practical as a bird in the hand. On the other side, Chen Xi played with a Rubik's Cube in his hand, watching Nick Fury, who couldn't wait to run back and fell into deep thought. Nick Fury, I'm here to help you, Chen Xi murmured to himself. The cosmic cube, also known as the space gem, is a divine object that mortals like them can control. It represents the strongest space law in the universe and an infinite source of energy. There are too many people who covet it. The little earth cannot withstand such a torment. A common man is not guilty, but he is guilty of possessing a treasure. A child is running all over the street holding gold? Isn't that equivalent to giving it away? The earth is the child, and the Rubik's Cube is the gold. They can't stand such a cosmic artifact, and countless people come knocking on their door out. Chen Xi looked at the Rubik's Cube that stole the show in the movie, and his eyes seemed to be deeply attracted by it. The deep blue Rubik's Cube of the universe was displayed before his eyes like a miniature universe, with billions and billions of stars inside. The universe is full of stars, emitting a faint light, like pearls, like handfuls of broken gold, scattered on the jasper plate. But he actually existed, and what he held was a universe for a long time. Chen Xi took a deep breath before waking up from the shock brought by the cosmic cube. Call, beautiful, shocking, all-encompassing, and dotted with stars. To do next, just crushing the Rubik's Cube of the universe and sending out all the heavenly things. The more important question is how to track Loki from this universe. Loki will definitely come with a Mind Stone. If he doesn't come, he doesn't want to go all over the universe to find Thanos running around. The cosmic cube is part of his plan and cannot be missed. Host, it is not a waste, but it must be crushed, unless you can teleport magic to teleport the space gem out. The system's words made Chen Xi's balls ache, and they had to be crushed. He doesn't know how to transmit magic. Once he fuses the space gem, no matter what kind of space magic you have, it will be rubbish. At this time, the system spoke again. Host, don't worry. The cosmic Rubik's Cube is just the crystallization of the energy leaked from the space gem, so it's naturally not precious. Isn't it easy with the power of the super space gem? The system's words made Chen Xi's eyes light up. Yes, the cosmic Rubik's Cube is just the crystallization of the energy leaked from the space gem, and it can be done at any time. Just do it. With a click, Chen Xi crushed the cosmic Rubik's Cube. The fragments scattered all over the floor, and a deeper blue ellipsoidal space gem also appeared in front of his eyes. The space gem is quite quiet. As long as there is no energy input, it is not aggressive and just lies quietly. System, what should I do now? Naturally, he didn't know how to do it and could only rely on the system's help. Host, you only need to take out those space gems, and they will automatically attract and fuse with each other. They are all space gems. They have the same origin. They naturally want to become more powerful. This is an instinct. Chen Xi complied, but he still teleported to the depths of the desert. Who knows if the energy would leak out during the fusion, or his home would be blown up by then. When everything was ready, Chen Xi took out 7 space gems of the same deep blue color from the system space. Finally met their compatriots in different universes. They were so lonely. They had been lonely for 13.8 billion years. This joy can be imagined. Suddenly, the space gem that was originally rotating in a circle suddenly stopped and became motionless. Buzz! Buzz! A violent vibration came. They were resonating, and it seemed that they had reached a unanimous decision. The 8 space gems began to bloom with deep blue light, and all the light began to gather among them. ZHI. With a gathering of endless divine light, an erratic and almost transparent larger ellipse was born. Then the space gems tried their best to release their energy and use up all their energy. Boom! Like the final sound, the 8 space gems exploded. The endless powder seemed to have found its destination, and it all rushed towards Chen Xi's eyebrows at the same time. As if the heaven and earth were first opened, after the infinitely dense singularity exploded, the universe was born. Then, Chen Xi saw their origins and all their experiences. Loneliness. Loneliness. Only endless loneliness. Great human loneliness, being, thank you for granting us hope. Please treat us kindly and make use of our hope. No, don't let our pearl be covered in dust. P.S. Friends, can you help me recommend books? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. we cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82 Superpower Explosion, Ancient One appears. After the fusion of the 8 space gems, the will was born at the moment of ultimate sublimation, which also became their last breath. All things can give birth to will, but for Chen Xi, it is too difficult for the laws of the universe to give birth to will. The multiverse does not allow them to give birth to will. This is the rule set by the OAA. Broke through the shackles at the last moment and gave birth to your final will. Chen Xi slowly opened his eyes, a tear streaking across the corner of his eyes. He felt the endless loneliness. This despair tortured them for endless time, and he felt the same way. Come on, you have to carry their will and exist forever. Chen Xi sighed and waved gently to the super space gem floating in front of him. Whoosh! The super space gem flew into Chen Xi's eyebrows like a swallow returning to its nest, and it finally settled down. Chen Xi's mental power entered the sea of consciousness and found that the super space gem was standing there quietly, slowly spitting out blue light. And he felt that from now on, he was absorbing the energy gift of the law of space all the time. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully integrating the first infinite gem. The host will be rewarded with 5 million points, the host for awakening the ability to transfer space. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully integrating the first infinite gem, and congratulations to the host for awakening the space ability. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully integrating the first infinite gem, and congratulations to the host for awakening the dimensional space ability. Unexpected. I have just absorbed space energy. What if I absorbed more space energy in the future? Space is king and time is supreme. An existence as powerful as the Space Stone has 5 brothers? In the Marvel world, the Infinity Stones are quenched from the essence of 6 singularities that contained infinite energy before the Big Bang. The universe was not born, but the gem already existed. What does this mean? This infinite gem is even older than the universe. The 6 infinite gems control the 6 basic attributes of space, time, reality, power, mind, and soul respectively, especially true for the entire Marvel movie. Behind any major event is related to these 6 Infinity Stones. It can be said that 6 Infinity Stars run through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Chen Xi also has a bunch of infinite gems in his hand. The combined power of so many infinite gems can be imagined the heart of the universe. The Infinity Gauntlet with 6 Infinity Stones is multiverse level, but the one with extremely low utilization rate, but he has 50 or 60 of them. He still brought them with him. Chen Xi stood there in a daze and giggled. This guy is already dreaming of a better life. Who'll step on who? After a while, Chen Xi finally stopped imagining and wiped away the non-existent saliva. At this time, Chen Xi suddenly took out the super space gem, held it in his hand and stared at it for a long time, and finally made up his mind. It's finally time for you to use your strength. Gather a cosmic Rubik's Cube and come out. This is your first time to use your strength. After saying that, Chen Xi began to input energy, and according to his own ideas, let the super space gem slowly release a trace of energy into the newly shattered cosmic Rubik's Cube under the repair of space energy. Space energy is the glue. Just stick those pieces together again. After a while, the space Rubik's Cube was repaired directly. Chen Xi picked up the cosmic Rubik's Cube and looked at it carefully. There was no difference at all, just the same. Hey, Loki, come here quickly, I have prepared a big gift for you. Loki's mouth. Did Thanos, who was searching for the cosmic cube, take the bait? Then the Mind Stone came. After thinking happily, I felt happy again. System, open the properties panel. Ding, the properties panel has been opened. The host can check it by himself. Host, Chen S level, -150 degrees Celsius, fire control level B, 1000 degrees, carbon temperature transformation, second to original admin and vibranium, super speed S-class, 2000 kilometers per second, super self-healing S level, any damage is healed within 1 second, telepathy level A, magnetic control level A, space transfer S level, within the solar system, space cutting grade A, ordinary 10 cm steel, dimensional space level A, circumference of 100,000 square kilometers, items, time stone, super space stone, reality stone, power stone, mind stone, soul stone, end pieces, and umbrella hive factory subordinates. Android number 18, Terminator TX points. 11.9 million points bioenergy. 3,850 points. The teleportation in the panel has also become a space transfer. It is not just the teleportation of people holding hands, he can now directly teleport something, or it can also be a person, and now there is no trace of delay. No one can control his teleportation now. The super space gem makes any space law subject to its control. Although his own space ability is not that strong, he has a super space gem. Chen Xi also saw the descriptions of the other two space abilities. Space is the space cutting blade size and has no effect in the real world at all. This move completely prevents the enemy from escaping, and the trapped enemy is the turtle in the urn. Chen Xi was very satisfied with such a gift, and he had both offense and defense. After taking stock of his harvest, Chen Xi happily prepared to go home. He couldn't wander around at night, as it would be easy to act like a ghost. If not, he would be a ghost. Master Gu Yi, since you are here, why are you so sneaky? Chen Xi suddenly raised his head, looked at a certain space, and said lightly, Zilla. The space shattered, and a bald woman wearing an earthy yellow monk's robe slowly walked out of the void. Chapter 83. I must fight hard. The person who came was none other than Master Gu Yi, an almost invincible supreme mage who died due to special effects in the movie. If she didn't want to die, or if she was doing it just to pave the way for the plot, who could kill her? Thanos dared to set foot on the Earth to snatch several gems? He was probably beaten to death before he even reached the solar system and fled for his life. A single universe-level boss like Dumumu has been blocked from the Earth by the Ancient One Master for hundreds of years, let alone a mere purple sweet potato spirit from Sub-Heavenly Father. At this moment, Master Gu Yi is walking from the void with a compassionate look. The void seems to have stairs, with lotus growing every step of the way. The Ancient One, a lineage of Earth mages, has met the young Infinite One. Master Gu Yi put his hands together and bowed slightly. Haha, I have met Master Gu Yi. It was still unclear whether she was an enemy or a friend, so Chen Xi naturally would not treat her arrogantly like a pretentious criminal. It's just that I don't understand why Master Gu Yi calls me the Infinite One. I'm confused. At this time, Chen Xi asked again about the strange name of Gu Yi. I am neither a member of the Eternal Clan nor a follower of Eternity. Haha, the Infinite? Only in legends, Gu Yi said lightly. She remembered the records in ancient books. You are an ordinary person in this universe. In some universes, you may be a rich man, a general, a mutant, or an alien creature. You may have any fate and encounters. Every time you encounter different choices, a different you will be born, but you are different. You are the Infinite. Gu Yi suddenly looked at Chen Xi solemnly. There are countless parallel universes, but there is only one you. What you have is an infinite future and infinite possibilities, but your appearance has already broken all the original timelines and pushed everyone's destiny to an invisible track. Everyone has their own destiny, but you changed their destiny. This is destroying the timeline. When Chen Xi heard this, she couldn't help but shrugged after talking a lot. He said nonchalantly, so what's your purpose? Tell me. He naturally knew that Gu Yi's arrival must have a strong purpose, otherwise she would be full. If you have nothing to do, you might as well travel around the multiverse, so why come to him? Alice, I would like to ask you not to destroy all established destiny, including the future Avengers plan. Gu Yi sighed and finally stated his purpose. Chen Xi burst out laughing after hearing this. Why? If I don't destroy it, then I can only wait to die. Will so many great people in Marvel let him go? Or will he have to live cautiously like a mouse in the shadow of others? No. This is not him. If he is a person who accepts his fate, then when he was weak, he would not risk his life with others and everything. He has nothing but a life. He just wanted to fight for that glimmer of hope, and he would not regret it even if he almost died. What about you? Do you also want to die? Is this your life? It's your fate to die if you want. Give up. Death? It's definitely not the end of me, Chen Xi. Chen Xi laughed crazily, mocking her greatness and selflessness, but he couldn't. He didn't lie for himself alone. He can't die, let alone die. What? How did you know? Gu Yi exclaimed in shock, his body shaking violently. This established future is her choice. She is too tired. The candidate for the future Supreme Mage has appeared, and she can be relieved, abandon her decayed body, and follow the Eternal God to practice with her free soul. But she didn't tell anyone about this choice. She used the Time Stone to seal her future timeline, but how did he know? It's terrifying to think about it carefully. Is this the terror of the infinite? Chen Xi shook his head gently and did not answer her. Could it be that I am not the only one who knows it? But everyone on Earth knows it? But what should I say about this? Should I tell her that you are just an NPC in a movie? You don't exist at all? You are just a character written by someone else? He is not as mean as Deadpool. He deliberately let Charles check his memory. He made Charles go crazy. Zai looked at Guyi and smiled and said, "In our Dragon Kingdom, there is a magic called Hawaii Bagua to play the future. Of course I can do this kind of magic. If you can see the past and future through the time stone, I can naturally do it too, is that so?" Guyi was slightly startled. It would be an exaggeration to say that the place where she lived was the Dragon Kingdom. She had also lived in the Dragon Kingdom since she was a child, so she naturally knew that there was such Hawaii gossip. It's just that what she knew has been lost long ago, and no one knows it. She just didn't expect that the person in front of her would know it too. If it were anyone else, she would naturally not believe it, but thinking of Chen Xi's identity, she still chose to believe it. The infinite cannot be speculated by common sense. But now is not the time to discuss it. She has her own purpose. She took a deep look at Chen Xi again and said, "You really don't want to give in." Chen Xi ignored her ultimatum and was extremely determined. Ha ha ha. Because many things are scarier than death. Do something and don't do something. Let's take action. I'll see the real chapter under my command. P.S. I feel so powerless. I am falling down. No one likes me. I don't even get a gift of 20 yuan. Chapter 84 shocked Guyi. What a good person who does something and doesn't do anything. Guyi sighed slightly. Why are you so persistent? Isn't it the best choice to follow the general trend? Everyone has his own destiny, so there is no way to choose. If possible, I really don't want to have magic power. I would rather be immortal, walk around the bustling world, and watch the sunrise and sunset. Why don't many people believe in fate? The strongest has its own master. Every mountain is higher than the other. When you are stronger, the opponents you encounter will be stronger, and the more dangerous you will be. Ha ha ha. Chen Xi laughed loudly after hearing this. He has been targeted by the Time Variation Administration. Kang the Conqueror has not noticed him yet, or has already noticed him. If he can't become stronger, then his end is already a dead end. He doesn't want to be ruled by the final Kang, he wants to defeat Kang. Chen Xi stared at Guyi and said loudly, that the more powerful you are, the more dangerous you are, right? Then I will be so powerful that everyone is afraid of me, afraid of me, afraid of me. Guyi shook his head slightly when he heard such an arrogant tone. Heart is no longer young, you have become compassionate, you have no fighting spirit, and you will only follow the ending given to you by others. Guyi's expression changed slightly. He was talking about himself now. She was too tired and no longer wanted to fight for anything. Everything was left to fate. No more nonsense. Let's see the real deal today. I win. From now on, you cannot change your destiny. If I lose, then I will never stop you from anything you do, okay? It's a deal, please. Chen Xi naturally agreed. Gambling. It's fun. The Karma Taj Mage in Marvel prefers close combat. Let's take a look at the physical magic mage. When Guyi heard this, he took a deep look at Chen Xi. This person was too calm and asked him to strike first, so it would be better to strike first. She saw her right hand making a seal, and a burst of sparks flashed. Chen Xi clearly felt that she had arrived in a dimensional space. What a great idea, mirror space. Chen Xi praised it and experienced it personally. It was indeed extraordinary. Ridiculous. At some point, Guyi was already close. A dim yellow magic shield appeared in his hands, and hit Chen Xi's head straight. The fire surrounding shield increases the power of close combat, increases one's own defense, and attacks with fire attributes. When Chen Xi saw this, he naturally would not show any weakness and flashed about 3 meters to the right to avoid his tentative blow. Take my move, freeze arrows. With a loud shout, countless frozen arrows condensed in front of Chen Xi. Whoosh whoosh, as if thousands of arrows were fired in unison, the flying arrows flashing with a cold light rushed towards Guyi, covering the sky and the sun. Little tricks. Guyi remained motionless, looking straight at the arrows flying at extremely fast speeds. Light shield technique. Bang bang bang. In an instant, ice arrows filled the sky surrounded Guyi, but Guyi, who had used the shield, was unscathed, and the shield blocked them all. There's something. Chen Xi was not in a hurry. This round was just about testing each other. It's not really true at all. He moved again. Suddenly, Chen Xi disappeared from Guyi's sight. Guyi, who thought of something, formed seals with both hands without hesitation, condensed a Sephinon shield, and smashed it hard somewhere in the void. Sephin and shield condensed by Ancient One shattered suddenly and turned into golden fragments all over the sky, shattered like a mirror being shattered. She herself even stumbled back 7 to 8 meters. Fortunately, she was protected by a fire surrounding shield and was not injured. But this time Guyu was shocked. She no longer looked expressless and calm. She pointed at Chen Xi with wide eyes and shouted, "You can actually hide in the mirror space and teleport? And you actually have hundreds of tons of strength, powerful ice abilities. It's okay to be able to teleport, and it's okay to be able to escape into the void. But you actually still have hundreds of tons of strength? This cannot be cultivated, it must either mutate or be innate. But you already have so many abilities, why do you still have them? How unfair is God? Favoring him alone, it's weird, but didn't you say that I am the infinite? Why can't I have infinite superpowers? The universe is so big, there are always lucky people, right? Your vision is still too narrow. When you meet more people, you will find that all you insist on is that others are not interested." Hearing Chen Xi's proud face, Guyu's smooth forehead was a black line. "Look at what makes you proud, look at what makes you shout, and your voice becomes louder. Strategically despise the enemy, and tactically pay attention to the enemy." Upon seeing this, Guyu quickly regained her composure. Hundreds of years of experience had made her psychologically calm. After a brief shock, she got serious. "The idea is a bit tricky. Chapter 85 Are 10 soul gems enough?" There was no way she could try it out with Chen Xi several times, but she didn't get any benefit and was instead at a disadvantage. She didn't pay attention to Chen Xi's words. She couldn't calculate the future of those top mutants, such as Franklin Richards, Phoenix Girl Ken Gray, the Psycho Group, and Scarlet Witch Wanda know now, so she just thought Chen Xi was deceiving her. "I'm going to get serious next time, I hope you won't disappoint me." After saying that, Guyu suddenly disappeared. "Teleport. It's useless in front of me." Chen Xi smiled faintly, and a deep blue divine light suddenly bloomed in front of him, leaving her body. Ancient One used this move to wake up Doctor Strange and the Hulk. It can be said that this move is impossible to guard against. The human soul is too fragile. Once the soul is knocked out, it can only be captured without mercy. At this moment, she seems to have victory in hand, so what can Chen Xi do if he can see her? Suddenly, the super speed movement started, and Guyu's palm wind suddenly stopped, and time seemed to freeze. Chen Xi moved extremely quickly and took out 10 soul gems from the system space. Buzz! Even if it cannot connect to the soul law of this universe, it itself is not invalid and there is always a trace of energy. 10 soul gems were lined up in a row, standing in front of Chen Xi and emitting the slightest light. He planned to take this move head on. Hide? Run? That's impossible. He's not the one who runs away from everything, he's the lunatic. Guyu's reaction was also very fast, even if it was only a second. From the time she appeared, Chen Xi slowed down the flow of time and took out the soul gem for defense. It only took a second. Buzz! Endless green light bloomed on her neck, and the eye of Agamotto sensed the change of time, and even felt the same kind. All of this happened between lightning and flint, and the flow of time was suddenly broken by the time gem. However, before Guyu could react, her confident blow collided hard with the soul gem. However, this time there was no disturbance at all, no feeling at all. It was like everything suddenly disappeared from the world. But only Guyu and Chen Xi know the danger, and the silent battle is the most deadly. At this time, everything is silent than sound, and the soul level is the most mysterious. Guyu, who failed to succeed, didn't care at all. Her heart was not on this matter at all. She was completely frightened now. In front of her eyes were 10 soul gems. Who could tell her that this was a dream? She believed it, of soul gems in front of him with horrified eyes. Not believing in evil, she counted it carefully again. 1, 2, 5, 10. Really 10. With his body trembling uncontrollably and his fingers shaking slightly, Guyu stared at Chen Xi and said in a trembling voice, "How is this possible? How is this possible? How come you have 10 soul gems? Have you robbed countless parallel universes? No no no. No no no. How could the life court allow it? He will not allow you to do this." Guyu's voice was hysterical, she was going crazy. What on earth was going on? Where did so many soul gems come from? But the soul gem in front of me is not a broken stone. All of this truly told her that this was not a dream. Ha ha ha. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Ha ha ha. This is fate. I am destiny. I am the chosen one. Chen Xi's big mouth almost reached his ears. He asked you to treat everything calmly. I'll teach you a lesson today. He hasn't taken out the other infinity stones yet, otherwise Guyu would be scared crazy. That wouldn't be fun, no. You're not. I don't understand where you got so many infinite stones, but I feel that they have no rules at all, so they are all disabled, they are not activated. Ancient Yu shook his head firmly and retorted loudly. She had held the Eye of Agamotto for hundreds of years, so she naturally felt everything was abnormal. These are infinite gems without much energy. Their activation requires an opportunity, perhaps the sole gem of this universe. Guyi is worthy of being Guyi, a wise man who has lived for hundreds of years. She guessed it in an instant. Okay, no matter what happens to them, your out-of-body experience has expired, so from now on, it's rude to not reciprocate. Shattered, and then a heartbreaking pain came when she lowered her head and looked down. She saw that a large piece of her arm had been severely cut off, and blood flowed profusely in an instant. Are you doing space magic? Guda was horrified and shouted, and she immediately used 2 layers of fire surrounding shield on herself again. Haha, it's just a space blade that makes Master Guyu laugh. Chen Xi said it very modestly, but the row of big white teeth betrayed him. He was very arrogant at the moment. Chapter 86. What can I do if I am exiled in time and space? Space blade? New space magic attack? Guyu didn't say anything after hearing it. He just wrote it down so that he can develop it when he goes back. She was always on guard against this weird attack without any warning. The next second, the Eye of Agamotto once again released green light and swept it at Guyu's injured arm. The arm that had been bleeding just now recovered as before, as if it had not been injured. Haha, time gem, this is really good. When Chen Xi saw this, he chuckled and watched quietly. When Guyu healed his arm, he looked at Chen Xi again. His eyes were neither contemptuous nor calm, but filled with fear and murderous intent. This young man has already made him feel unprecedented pressure. She is afraid that if she blinks again, she will be no match for him future. Oh, I'm really going to risk it all to ask you to leave here, young strong man. I'm sorry. After saying that, Guyu's eyes condensed and his temperament changed drastically. Space magic. Space exile, Guyu shouted loudly and quickly formed a seal. As fast as lightning, a khaki-colored circle of light flashing with sparks passed through Chen Xi at lightning speed. However, the next scene was beyond her expectation. She saw Chen Xi standing motionless and looking at her with a smile. As if to say again, you continue, I am waiting for your performance. Guyu was stunned. She didn't understand. Could it be that the man in front of her was more accomplished in space magic than she was? No. Space gem, Ancient One came to his senses going. Chen Xi smiled softly. It depends on what you do to me. You must be convinced. Guyu looked deeply at Chen Xi, who was indifferent, and slowly took off the Eye of Agamotto from his neck. I hope you can still catch the next move, time and space magic. Time exile, buzz, in the Eye of Agamotto, the green light flourished, and the dazzling light came out of his body. A mysterious and unpredictable rule instantly enveloped Chen Xi's timeline, leaving him to fend for himself and never return to the present world. However, what happened next was that the deep blue divine light on Chen Xi's body was even stronger, overwhelming the law of time in an instant. Bo. A slight fluctuation came out, which was the collision of the laws of time and the laws of space, a contest of the supreme laws. However, the time gem was much weaker. Even if Guyu exerted his full strength and Chen Xi only defended passively, Guyu's attack was still like a stone's throw. Her whole body was also severely knocked away by this wave. Plop. She didn't resist, but just let the wave of power knock her away. Because she saw the space gem, a stronger space gem. Alice. Why? How come you have a really powerful space gem, know about, and the life tribune is the limit of what she knows? The person in front of her was no longer something she could stop. It was unbelievable that a person possessed dozens of infinite gems. He was a bit invincible. It's my luck that I have these. Are you worried that I will destroy the timeline and destroy the Earth? Chen Xi looked at the lonely Guyu. He didn't have any victor's attitude this time. He just spoke calmly. I don't understand. I don't understand you. Guyu shook his head. She lowered her eyes and did not answer directly. Chen Xi was not surprised at all by her answer. The human heart is the most difficult thing to predict in the world and can change at any time. Maybe you are a friend at this moment and an enemy at the next moment. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of Domu? Thanos? Because my appearance will bring about unpredictable changes, Chen Xi asked tentatively. Thoughts. Gu Yi didn't speak, just nodded slightly. What she fears most is unknown changes, factors beyond her control that are beyond her calculations. The lineage of Supreme Mage is to protect the earth from being invaded. Chen Xi laughed loudly after hearing this. Domu. His true body cannot come down. At most, he has the fighting power of a heavenly father. Can he still go to heaven? As for Thanos' purple potato spirit, this guy won't appear until you die and Odin and Hela die. He still doesn't know where in the corner he will implement his so-called policy of killing half and leaving half. This guy is just a guy who doesn't understand anything about biology. Chen Xi's words were rude but not rude, and she expressed all her worries openly. But he really doesn't know that Gu Yi is not worried about someone else right now. Gu Yi is worried that the biggest variable is him. Chapter 87. Locking and Reinforcement of Earth Space. Gu Yi continued to shake his head, but Chen Xi still didn't get to the point. The whole problem now is him. Are you pretending to be confused because you understand? Gu Yi looked at him a little depressed, his eyes clearly indicating that he should talk about the important points. Don't worry, the Earth is my hometown. Although I was not born in this universe, it is the Earth after all. Himself, am I really sick? If I wasn't sick, how could I destroy the Earth? Are you going to an alien planet to fight for territory? Slave a group of aliens to do handyman services for him? That would be so tiring. After hearing Chen Xi's assurance, Gu Yi felt a little relieved. There was nothing she could do. Even though she was powerful, her equipment was too luxurious. Blessed by dozens of infinite gems, what a magical combination this is, players and ordinary players. They are equipped with luxurious equipment, and you can't even break your defense even if you stand. Although Gu Yi failed, the action was successful, and Chen Xi gave her some face. Sorry, I was reckless today, Gu Yi said sincerely, his tone also full of apology. Haha, if you don't fight, you won't know each other. I also gained a lot today, Chen Xi said with a smile that he would not suffer any loss anyway and tested the skills of a top boss. Well, if nothing happens, I will take my leave. You are welcome to visit Kamataj at any time. Gu Yi clasped his hands together, bowed slightly, and prepared to leave, etc. At this time, Chen Xi called out to her. Gu Yi froze. Is this coming? That's right, she immediately thought that Chen Xi would definitely ask her for the time stone. Sure enough, Chen Xi spoke. Ancient Yi, I will leave the time gem to you to keep for a while. I will ask you for it in a few years. Well, Gu Yi sighed lightly. I guess you need the Infinity Stones from the current universe to activate the Infinity Stones from other universes in your hand, right? Gu Yi's guess was correct. Chen Xi didn't hide anything and nodded immediately. He said, don't you think it's safer to leave it to me than anyone else? As for Thanos, he is just a money-giving boy. Chen Xi was right, he was waiting for Thanos to bring him the Soul Stone and the Mind Stone. It was safer to leave it to him than anyone else, and his future would be limitless. Yes. But, she didn't know what to say. No buts. Chen Xi interrupted her. The Supreme Mage you mentioned, I can choose a better one for you. Chen Xi interrupted her train of thought in a few words and recommended a candidate to him. Okay, let's talk about it then. After Gu Yi finished speaking, he left. Watching Gu Yi leave, Chen Xi stared at the direction she left and became entangled. No one is more suitable for the position of Supreme Mage than Gu Yi, but she has already developed the will to die. Once this person wants to die, it is really impossible to pull him back. Wouldn't it be a pity for a thug like Gu Yi to die like this? Chen Xi knew that Gu Yi was too tired. She was in darkness and her heart was in the light. She was afraid that if she absorbed too much energy from the dark latitude, she would be deceived by Domu, and she was afraid of falling completely into darkness. What can be done now is to let Gu Yi step down from his post, and not let her suicide method come to an end, and find someone to take over the position of Supreme Mage. As for Strange, forget it. I'm not familiar with him. You can tell from the movie that this guy has too many ideas. In this case, it's better to let him fend for himself. Since you want someone to fill that position, you have to find someone of your own. Kamataj is his own, S.H.I.E.L.D. is his own, even the American Congress is his own. The governor of New York is his. Foreshadowing. If he is obedient, he will be rewarded with merit and allowed to reach the top. If not, let a clone take his place. Chen Xi, who was sitting on the ground, thought of 3 candidates, each of whom was a good candidate for the Supreme Mage. Wanda, Charles, and Tony are all particularly suitable. Wanda possesses chaos magic, which is the most powerful magic. It is very suitable to learn the Kamataj spell. Charles is the master of the mind. His spiritual power is infinitely stronger than that of the destined strange. He is a born magician. As for Tony, his intelligence is undoubted, and it is more than enough for him to be the supreme mage makeover. But even if he can't be the supreme mage, he can still learn magic. Magic steel armor, Destroyer understands. After thinking about it, I haven't decided yet, but there is no need to worry about these things, there is still a long time. Patting the sand on his body, Chen Xi remembered the most important thing. The space in this universe must be reinforced, otherwise it will be very dangerous to break the space at every turn. This is your own base camp. Chen Xi took out the super space gem and frantically channeled his energy towards the space gem. The space gem instantly bloomed with divine light, and the invisible law of space instantly enveloped the Earth. This surprised many people. It's just that his energy is limited and can only surround the Earth, and it's not that dozens of times better. Chapter 88: The Shock of the Bosses and the Great Changes in the Earth. Ancient One, who had just returned to Kamataj, instantly felt the reinforcement of the Earth's space. If he could easily break the space with a serious blow before, he must go all out now, otherwise if he rules the universe, who can stop him? Earth's space reinforcement, for her currently, the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages, such as Demomu Mephisto. At this moment, Demomu in the dark latitude suddenly woke up from his deep sleep. He found that the space on Earth that he had been paying attention to had become extremely solid, fake. What is going on? Earth? Demomu was born on the Earth and is determined to devour the Earth. There are many such persistent villains who always have trouble with the Earth. I don't know what there is on the Earth that attracts their prying eyes. Is this the center of the world? Demomu doesn't understand. If he wants to invade the Earth, how much energy will he have to spend? Fake squid. What I can't understand is Mephisto. He doesn't understand either. There is a big gap between his own hell latitude and the Earth's real space. His true body cannot come at all, unless he forces a wave and contacts multiple latitude demons to launch a massive attack. Oh, what's the matter? Even if I get the St. Fangansa contract, I can't get in. Fake. Fake. Where did such a strange thing come from? Who did it? This is not giving us a way to survive. In an old castle in England, an aristocratic old man on crutches cursed and smashed precious antiques, obviously very angry. What can I do with this clone? No one can beat me. He carefully manages various plans and collects souls in order to one day open the passage between the latitude of hell and the real universe and devour the Earth. Even if a 1,000-year plan is lost, even the Pacific Ocean cannot wash away his anger. Odin, who was far away in Asgard, naturally felt that the atrium, that is, the Earth, was suddenly further away from their nominal rule. Take action. Is she going to leave? She shouldn't. She shouldn't. With Ancient One on Earth, countless young people can't even take a step forward. Even Odin, the God King, doesn't dare to fight to the death with Ancient One. Ancient One may not necessarily die, but he will definitely be finished. If he were young, Ancient One would definitely not be his opponent, but now he is already decayed and often uses Odin's sleep to maintain his vitality. Maybe he will never be able to unify the 9 realms again in this life. He can only place all his hopes on his son Thor, the god of thunder. But Thor is just a stick now, his brains are all muscles, he is basically a reckless man, and he is not very good at all. Not only these big guys feel it, but also those guys with space system abilities on the Earth feel it. The teleportation distance has become shorter, the energy consumption has increased, the distance to teleport people has become shorter, the attack has become weaker, etc. Of course, the initiator of all this was Chen Xi, who now returned to the villa leisurely and contentedly. System extracted. Ding. The plot mission Supreme Age Ancient One has been detected. Can the host extract her abilities and items? Each extraction requires 1 million points. Extract. Ding. 1 million points will be deducted from the host, and any ability extraction will begin. Please wait a moment, host. Another slot machine-like lottery machine appeared in front of Chen Xi's eyes and began to rotate astral projection. Out-of-body experience, telekinesis, teleportation, cross-space teleportation, telekinesis, telepathy, mirror space, etc. Of course, there were too many ordinary magic spells, so the system did not include them. BIU, BIU, BIU. The cursor started to rotate crazily, and then after a while it clicked and stopped on the telekinesis. Ding. Congratulations to the host on getting telekinesis. Would you like to fuse it now? Start fusion for the host. Please wait for the host. After about 5 minutes, the system issued a prompt tone. Ding. The fusion is complete. Please check it yourself. Host, is the fusion of thought power completed? This is a happy event. Chen Xi was overjoyed. This was a universal ability. It could attack, defend, and fly. Ancient times, her telekinesis is not that strong. If it were someone else, this thought power would be worth at most 300,000. After Gu Feng admired herself for a while, he came out of the basement and prepared to go upstairs to check on Qin Gray's condition. This girl is a little emotionally unstable, especially when she has just fully awakened. It's mainly a matter of mentality. Whatever happens to mutants is due to their newly awakened mentality. Whether they are extremely self-optimistic or extremely self-pessimistic, they are particularly dangerous. Obviously, Qin Gray belongs to the latter. P.S. I ask for some small gifts every day. Today they only cost more than a dozen yuan. Yesterday, the gifts were so good that I received dozens of them. Thank you very much for letting me eat. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89. A dream is just a dream after all. However, when Chen Xi found Qin Gray, the little girl was still in a coma. Wanda and number 18 had been sitting and chatting next to her, waiting for her to wake up. When they saw Chen Xi's arrival, they stood up immediately. Where did you go just now? You ran away in a hurry, Wanda asked dissatisfied. This guy is so heartless that he let this girl Qin Gray fall asleep. Hey, don't worry, I know what's going on. Chen Xi touched her little head and spoke softly. Wanda slapped his hand away and gave him a sideways look. Go away, you haven't been doing anything right all day. Hurry up and see when Qin will wake up. Yeah, let me take a look. How could he not obey his beautiful wife's instructions? After Chen Xi finished speaking, he walked to the bed and sat down. Through telepathy, Chen Xi entered Qin Gele's mind and found her in a flowery garden on the side. It turns out that this girl is dreaming, but the content of this dream is she was swinging on the swinging and giggling, her father was swinging slowly on the side, and her mother was sitting on a chair watching the father and daughter play with a smile on her distressed face. This scene is full of family warmth. People and nature are so harmonious. His eyes turning red. This was the dream that Qin Gray longed for, but it was not his dream. His childhood was nothing but cold, hunger, bullying, discrimination, and supercilious looks. He had never longed for the warmth of such a family, but it was no longer possible. Chen Xi stared at all this blankly and couldn't bear to be disturbed. He turned around and prepared to leave, letting her enjoy everything. Maybe she had never slept so well in the past few days. At this time, a gentle female voice came. Sir, who are you looking for? Jean Grey's mother stopped him. Hi, madam. I'm just passing by. I'm not looking for anyone. I'm sorry to bother you. Chen Xi smiled, said nothing more, and moved on. What a strange man, Qin Gray's mother murmured but didn't pay attention. What's wrong, honey? Her father asked strangely. Oh, it's nothing. I just saw a young man looking into the yard. I thought he was looking for you, but it turned out he wasn't. Qin Gray's mother explained casually and didn't care at all. Oh, leave him alone, maybe just passing by. Jean Gray's father didn't care either, but Qin Gray looked back at Chen Xi's leaving figure, and jumped off the swing with a sad expression. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, it's time. I should go. The past will eventually pass. I can't stay in the past. Thank you for giving me joy and happiness for so long. At this moment, Qin Gray's voice sounded slightly crying. She was afraid that she would cry uncontrollably. This was all her dream. It was a dream she had weaved for herself. She really missed the warm days in the past. Goodbye, Mom and Dad, my daughter will always love you. In the end, tears burst out of her eyes, and she could no longer hold back the sadness in her heart. Long as we are together as a family, there's nothing we can't solve. Don't hide it from us. They grabbed Jean Gray's hand nervously and asked anxiously, something must have happened. This is their only precious daughter. It's okay, I can handle it myself. Goodbye, Mom and Dad, beauty forever. Her parents were naturally just mortals. With this extraordinary ability, they were unable to resist and allowed Qin Gray to leave. Qin Gray left, following in Chen Xi's footsteps. You can only take a deep look at that beautiful garden and regard the warmest scene as the most beautiful memory. Brother, let's go. Oh, her shadows stretched longer and longer, forever. In the real world, Qin Gray slowly opened her eyes, and 2 tears slowly rolled down her cheeks. as if it was a farewell ceremony and a complete end to the past. She knew she couldn't immerse herself in the past or fantasy. She already had a family who loved her and protected her. She is no longer an ordinary person, she is a phoenix. Her father has kicked her out, so don't disturb the peaceful life of their new family. Are you awake? The questions and answers were simple and calm, but they revealed different information. She bid farewell to the past and woke up completely. Chen Xi knew that Qin Gray would not lose control easily. The seal was always a damaging move, and there was number 100% safe cage. Charles put this memory of Jean Grey into a mental prison, which is like a time bomb that will explode sooner or later over time. The Dragon Kingdom understood in ancient times that blocking is always better than sparing. A true warrior dares to face the bleak life. Chapter 90. Natasha is here, maid outfit number 18. Chen Xi will not set any mental prison for Qin Zhele. He is not a saint, and neither is Qin Zhele. Everyone has negative emotions. If you have emotions, you have to vent them. Can you keep them in your heart without causing trouble? The restlessness of the Phoenix Force is not just because it is full of desire for destruction. It just so happens that Qin Gray's father's abandonment and mother's death have never let her go, so she will be provoked by the Phoenix Force to explode emotionally. This night, Qin Gray slept extremely quietly, without any random thoughts. It was also the most peaceful night for her recently. The next day, after Chen Xi finished his morning training in battle, he walked down quietly to prepare breakfast for the big family. There was no way, the two of them couldn't count on anything anymore. Now they were slumped on the bed without moving a finger, and they had used up a set of cool pajamas they had carefully prepared oatmeal. Of course, they are particularly allergic to milk now, and they will roll their eyes when they see milk. Hey, we are really amazing chefs. This is really a balanced breakfast with meat and vegetables. What a pity, this is America. It's not popular to eat zaya along bao, tofu, fried dough sticks and spicy soup. I can't even eat fried dough sticks. I have to go to Chinatown to eat them. Unfortunately, there is nothing at this point. By the time he finished, it was around 10 o'clock, and the breakfast shop in Chinatown had long been closed. Chen Xi is talking to himself here, boasting about himself. Others will definitely think that he is out of his mind. Ding dong, ding dong. As soon as Chen Xi prepared, the doorbell rang. Hey, who is it? Such a coincidence. This is a good time picker. Queen Hong opened the door, surprised. Standing at the door was a smiling Natasha with big burgundy BBS and short legs. Hi, dear master, I haven't seen you for a few days. Natasha, who was smiling beautifully, leaned against the door frame and winked at Chen Xi with a charming smile. This shit, if an average person can stand it, their bones will probably become crispy just by saying master. But Chen Xi didn't change his expression and glanced at her are almost flooded with water. I am really a genius, and you are really golden. Go away. A dog can't spit out ivory from its mouth. People think about it. Can you help them solve it? Natasha's mouth won't suffer, and I won't spoil you. Ahem, I'm afraid you'll rely on me for this. After all, whoever tries our skills knows who we are. Flirting with beautiful women will make your mood better. No, Chen Xi's mood immediately improved when he was depressed about not being able to eat Chinese food. Natasha glanced up and down at him, paying special attention to that key part. The meaning is obvious. What? Talk nonsense with her. The purpose of her coming was still very simple, and she knew it without guessing. After hearing this, Natasha's face also straightened. Yeah, Nick Fury said that I have been exposed, so why not just get close to you and monitor your every move? It looks suitable for Natasha, the Black Widow. Yes, double agent, this feeling is back to the old days. Natasha smiled self-deprecatingly, as if she was always betraying or on the road to betrayal. Join the Red Room, betray the Red Room. Joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and became a double agent. Now he has betrayed S.H.I.E.L.D. and chosen to join Chen Xi. The change in life from weak to strong was always full of intrigue and betrayal. Squeezing her little hand, Chen Xi comforted her. Don't worry, you will never have to experience betrayal again. I am here to be your last stop in life. I don't think anyone can give more than I give. Such people don't exist. With a puff, Natasha couldn't help but laugh. This, yes, you gave me too much, I can't bear it. Natasha looked at her teasingly, actually imitating the palace fighting drama she saw somewhere. Haha, buddy, I'm not short of money. Are you ready, maid Natasha? Take office now. Yes, dear master. Natasha cooperates with Chen Xi and satisfies his evil taste. It seems that this is how she feels about breaking the taboo. Oh my god, don't I have any special hobbies? Natasha suddenly couldn't help but ask herself, wondering if some of her attributes had been activated. By coincidence, number 18 and Wanda also came down, and brought Natasha the special maid outfit they bought. It turned out that the conversation between the two had long been heard by number 18, which made her excited. It seemed that she could transform Natasha. Chapter 91. The cloning plan failed. Number 18 walked around Natasha in a large circle, constantly making sounds of admiration, touching his chin and nodding from time to time. This action made Natasha feel uncomfortable all over and made her skin crawl. What do you want to do? A somewhat unnatural Natasha asked warily. You're not going to make things difficult for me in any way, are you? I'm not someone to be trifled with, Natasha encouraged herself here, and number 18 on the other side said with a smile, hey, don't be nervous. I'm not doing anything. I'm just observing whether you are suitable for this job. Who designed this design? It's really crazy. At this time, Chen Xi couldn't stand it any longer. Although he wanted to watch it, he still had basic qualities, so there had to be an adaptation process. Xi's answer, she breathed a sigh of relief. This broken woman is so bad. Does she want to be defeated? TCH. It's boring. You are so boring, number 18 muttered depressedly. By the way, listen to me, Qin goes to school. Chen Xi suddenly mentioned Qin Gray's education issue, causing them to fall into deep thought. This girl won't be able to go to school. Mutants will always show their differences, which is not good for her or others. Why don't we find a female teacher who graduated from a prestigious school to teach her? We don't need a diploma anyway, Wanda said suddenly and came up with an idea. I think it's okay, as long as I can teach her. I agree too. Everyone echoed loudly and the opinions were quite unanimous. Okay, let's find one in a few days. In this case, Chen Xi agreed. The pleasant time passed quickly while chatting. There was no food at home, so we could only order takeout at noon. After eating, Chen Xi stuffed a card into Natasha. There is some money here. You can go to the supermarket in the afternoon to buy more ingredients and put them in the refrigerator. From now on, you will be the one cooking at home. Natasha was stunned. Isn't it? You really want me to be a nanny? Hey, what are you doing? I really want you to be a nanny, or else I'll give you $300,000 for free. Chen Xi's mental power has become so strong. How can she not guess her thoughts? Are you sure? I really want to give you 300,000 yuan, Natasha asked in disbelief. She thought she was just joking to trick Nick Fury, but she didn't expect Chen Xi to really take it seriously. Are you kidding? Snap. Chen Xi raised his hand and slapped him. What's wrong? Do I mean what I say? 300,000 is just 300,000. Natasha glared at him fiercely and said, let's not do anything. Okay, you're not an outsider. Chen Xi didn't know how to write the word shameless at all. Natasha was so angry that she really wanted to bite him to death. Look at his nonchalant look, just like he belonged to his family. They got used to it slowly, and it was really scary to get used to this thing. Qin Gray also rolled her eyes. This stinky brother is good at everything. Chen Xi found a reason to be out of sight and out of mind, and went out directly. Are all brainwashed clones and will only obey Chen Xi's orders. At this time, Umbrella had not yet recruited external workers, and everything was done in secret. Terminator TX led the security personnel to purchase raw materials for cloning culture fluids, and produced as many clones as they could. It's just that something went wrong recently. Maybe it's not the same world. There are a lot of ghost orchids in the Resident Evil world, but there are actually very few in this Marvel world. As a result, their progress has actually slowed down, and they have been waiting for the logistics of acquisitions from all over the world. Red Queen, the plan to clone Steve failed. Today he came here just to see the differences in the cloned Steve, but when he saw those little Brooklyn guys, he felt a pain in his balls. Chapter 92 Prison Storm. Sure enough, cloning still doesn't work, and his shortcut to being a chicken thief has been completely blocked. Chen Xi originally thought that if Steve could be cloned, he would really become rich. If Steve, who was mutated by drugs, could be cloned, and so many mutants are born with mutated genes, then if he could be cloned, wouldn't he be prosperous? It's a pity that this shortcut is blocked. God does not allow such bugs to exist. Otherwise, if you think about it, if you can clone it directly, wouldn't it be a mess? Chen Xi pouted. After all, there is no free lunch, forget it. Mutants also come from ordinary people. If the cloned mutants cannot awaken directly, then it is better to wait for ordinary people to awaken of the celestial god group, and can awaken. It's just that this experiment failed the Celestials. They created a race that was completely uncontrollable. The powerful individuals in the race could actually kill the gods at will. Forget it, these mutants awakened when they encountered major changes and mental changes. Everyone was a rare thing, so Chen Xi decided not to force it. Red Queen, use these little Brooklyn guys as experimental subjects to conduct experiments on the super T virus serum. If these Steves can succeed, then ordinary people can also succeed. It can be regarded as cloning them and reusing them. Chen Xi thought about it, this can't be wasted. The experiment requires a large number of experimental subjects, and they can't release them. Wouldn't it cause panic in New York and even the world? Yes, Lord. The Red Queen naturally followed the instructions and made the best use of their remaining energy. There are only a few of them, which is not enough. We need a large number of experimental subjects, the Red Queen said again. Experiments require a large number of experimental subjects. Without a large amount of data, everything is in vain. Alice is an example. The T virus is only a gene suitable for her. If others use it, they are ruined. What the Red Queen said made sense. Chen Xi touched his chin and began to think about countermeasures. These people deserve to die, and while they deserve to be killed, it is also good to make some contribution to them. Okay, wait for news from the Lord. Chen Xi has a way, and the Red Queen believes it. Her boss is naturally the most mysterious existence. He can summon her across the universe. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is a god. TX, come here, Chen Xi shouted again to Terminator TX, who was waiting aside with an expressionless face. This guy can't laugh, even T-800 can laugh. Boss, you have something to tell me. Well, he still looks serious. Chen Xi didn't force it. He didn't have an expression system at all. What could he do? Don't have to die anyway. It's just a good test to see if our T-virus can regenerate severed limbs. Chen Xi knew that these guys in prison who were on death row or without a life sentence were all extremely vicious people. Because this is America. In a country where the cost of committing a crime is extremely low, where someone can be sentenced to death or life in prison, who is that? To deal with such people, cold-blooded robots like TX must use more violent methods. TX expresslessly and said, yes, boss. Chen Xi gave the order and left. Robbing some death row prisoners was too simple for him. New York's Rikers Island prison, as its name suggests, is a small island prison. It holds a total of more than 12,000 criminals, including 800 over-criminals. Of course, this is also the most notorious prison in the world. Even use prisoners to enforce the law against each other. The serious criminals here are all good prospects. They are in great shape and meet Chen Xi's requirements very well. The experiment depends on them. Today's Chris Island prison is still sunny and prosperous. Of course, it would be great if there was not a boxing match going on during the break their mouths. Of course, it would have been perfect without some ketchup on their noses and faces. The inmates were not surprised. They were surrounded by 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside. Everyone had an excited and ferocious smile, and they wanted to go on stage and have a crazy fight. Can't kick his balls? How wonderful it would be to just pop them. Fake, don't wait any longer. There will be another round after the fight. The winner can smoke a pack of cigarettes. A bottle of vodka, come on, don't waste time. Fake, everyone almost out of panic. This was a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of vodka. Who could resist such a huge temptation? Chapter 93 Chen Xi appears. With the instigation of the crowd, the atmosphere at the scene was also pushed to its peak. The atmosphere had reached this point, and there was no way to continue standing. The 2 desperados roared and punched each other, almost touching each other in the blink of an eye. Bang! 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 In the waist with a sneak attack. Deus showed no weakness, as if he couldn't feel the pain, and directly grabbed the arm that hid his waist with his right hand. With such force, Peter immediately wanted to attack Dicey's head again with his right fist. Unexpectedly, Dicey, who had been prepared, raised his leg and hit him hard in the abdomen with a knee. The pain made Peter's movements lag. There was a bang and a muffled hum. It wasn't over yet. Naturally, Des followed up with an elbow without mercy. Taking advantage of Peter's moment of pain and distraction, he hit him in the chest again. Poof! A large mouthful of blood immediately spurted out for free. This time, the knee-to-elbow blow was unbearable to watch, and Peter fell down immediately. He probably died on his own, but no one here would save him. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Dace laughed like a winner. The excitement and bloodthirsty in his eyes was unspeakably perverted, and there were rewards for killing people. He loved this place so much. The surrounding prisoners were also directly ignited with all their enthusiasm by the sudden scene, and the atmosphere became more and more lively. Everyone was yelling, dancing and cheering. I don't know what they were cheering for. Anyway, they just yelled casually when the atmosphere was up. Des. Stingy with your cigarettes and wine tonight, I can exchange them. In addition to shouting Deus's name loudly, they just wanted to buy his cigarettes and wine. There's no business here, only the prison arrange will such inhumane fights. The winner will be served by alcohol and tobacco, while the loser will lighten the burden of the prisoner's satisfaction. The passion was ignited again. They didn't expect that this game would have such highlights. Haha. Deus. Someone provokes you, tease him. Hey, brother, you're not walking in the wrong direction, are you? He's the butcher Deus beast, and you're not strong enough to punch him. Haha. No, brother, kill this butcher. Haha. Disdain. He didn't remember wearing such clothes in prison. Could it be that this guy is a foreign aide from outside, specifically here to deal with them? In the stands not far away, the warden was shocked. How did this man appear? It was too sudden. Dirge, did you arrange this? He turned to look at the deputy in surprise, thinking he had arranged it. System actually allows people to come and go at will? What a broken security system. Dirge, if you are going to collect a body, just pretend that nothing happened. If there is no door to hell and he breaks in, then you can't blame anyone else, the prison said gloomily. Just die, they die every day, it's not surprising. Harshly, boy, if you don't want to punch me for your size, I'll give you a chance. Kneel down and kowtow now, I can spare your life. Ha ha ha. Am I merciful? After he finished speaking, he burst out laughing, as if he had a special sense of accomplishment in controlling other people's lives. The same was true at the scene, with people shouting, kneel down, kneel down. Chen Xi looked at these ants. They were so overestimated that they really needed a beating before death. 99% of their experimental subjects will die, but unfortunately they have to go through a lot of physical pain before they die. Stop talking, then go and die, Chen Xi said lightly and began to deform as it flew in the air. In a very short time, it turned into a huge iron cage and surrounded everyone. Now they can't escape. The butcher Deus who was shouting just now was nailed to the ground by a spear that came from nowhere. Before he died, he still looked terrified. It turned out that his life was really so fragile. Only the surviving criminals recovered from the brief shock, and then they burst into horrified roars. Or timid will kneel down and kowtow. My lord, please let us go. We were wrong, please, your majesty has a lot of them, just treat us like a fart. They have no way to escape. Maybe by delaying it, the prison can save them? Chen Xi just watched their performance quietly. Even if the King of Heaven comes, I can't save them. Murderers will always be killed. Chapter 94. Is he God? Imagination is beautiful, reality is cruel. Chen Xi just wants to congratulate them. Hey, be ridiculous, you can live for one more minute, and you can choose to recall your life. Yes, the prison authorities naturally discovered that such a big movement is more terrifying than a terrorist attack. This is a blatant prison robbery. Fake squid, is this okay? Suddenly, a shrill alarm sounded over the prison, and all the guards were alerted for a moment. Whoosh, 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 quick, shoot for me, aim at that guy. No need to aim, just shoot for me. This is a premeditated prison robbery. He is a mutant. Give me a tranquilizer bomb. He can control a metal, the warden yelled in panic. Is this Magneto, the world? At this time, Chen Xi was standing there, waiting for them. He wanted to take away all the prisoners openly. He had never done such a fun thing as robbing a prison. Taking these felons away by himself will save the country many unnecessary resources. He is doing a good deed. In a short while, hundreds of soldiers with guns and live ammunition were ready. They had plenty of tranquilizer bombs. After all, they couldn't kill people at will. Warden saw Chen Xi standing there majestically. He simply didn't take them seriously. He must be taught a lesson. With an order, the anesthetic bullets flew towards the cage in dense numbers, completely indiscriminately. With a thought in Chen Xi's mind, a transparent telekinesis shield only covered himself. The anesthetic bomb hit the telekinesis hard, making a thump-dong-dong sound, but it was of no use. Were not so lucky few of they escaped the fate of being hit, and they all fell down helplessly. Fake. What kind of ability does this guy have? Isn't it the ability to control a metal? Seeing Chen Xi unscathed, the warden's jaw dropped in shock. In order to test Chen Xi's ability, he decisively ordered again, all the soldiers on my right should use ordinary bullets and shoot me hard. Time, Chen Xi will not be polite. Countless bullets, whether they were tranquilizer bombs or ordinary bullets, stopped in front of everyone's horrified eyes, completely floating in the air and motionless. Everyone was so frightened that they forgot to pull the trigger. They could only stare at the incredible scene in front of them with their mouths wide open and their eyes wide open. They had heard of it but had never seen anything like it. Chen Xi opened his mouth and pushed his right hand back slightly against all the bullets, only to see all the bullets return the same way they came. Puff puff puff. No matter who it is, all living beings are equal at this moment. The screams resounded through the sky. If you were lucky, it was an anesthetic bullet. If you were unlucky, it was an ordinary bullet. When the bullet enters the body, the muffled sound can be heard endlessly out. Then life and death are really determined by fate, and wealth and honor are in heaven. Now there are people everywhere waiting and screaming. Of course, the warden is not immune to the disaster. He has been given special care and he has probably seen Satan now. The law of the jungle is so simple. For this notorious prison, the warden and all the guards are murderous guys. Hands, kill them without blinking an eye. Call it done. Chen Xi clapped his hands and the whole world became quiet looking at the serious criminals and murderers everywhere. Chen Xi would not have any mercy. They are all people who deserve to die. And to still be able to survive in this world is the greatest insult to the people they killed. The United States does not easily have the death penalty. Even if it is sentenced to death, it is useless. The palm of Chen Xi's hand, and he controlled the steel bars to become as thick as wires, tying up the group of people one by one, making them look like gangsters. With dozens of efforts, all the guys were quickly tied up. Chen Xi used the space gem to open the space channel, controlled the dumplings with telekinesis, and threw them in one after another. When the TX at the other end saw the space channel opening, he immediately asked all security guards to prepare. Sure enough, there was movement on the other end soon, and they saw tightly tied prisoners being thrown out one after another. Quick! Reinforce them all like this and send them to the laboratory for researchers to use as experimental subjects. TX quickly ordered Umbrella's security guards to arrange their final destination for these fine experimental subjects. Most prisoners will be injected with T-virus serum in a dazed state, which can be considered a kind of comfort. At least it does not make them feel fear or despair. As soon as the injection is administered, various adverse reactions appear, and the remaining ones are more unlucky. They must stay awake as the next batch of experimental subjects for the improved serum. When the last prisoner was transported, Chen Xi also left. Naturally, such a major event that shocked the world could not be concealed. In less than half an hour, it spread throughout the United States. Chapter 95. Captain, what do you think? The New York City Hall is about to explode. Citizens are calling the City Hall to complain and ask how such a big movement can be concealed. The gunshots rang out in the prison and spread far away, even heard by nearby residents. Now the entire New York City government is in a state of panic, with several people in one head. The phone lines were buzzing, everyone was calling, and all lines were busy. Those who couldn't get through didn't even wait, and those who couldn't get in were driven straight to the City Hall building. Now the mayor of New York, Victor, is scratching his head and pacing back and forth in the office. He is now restless. The group of people outside cannot ignore it and are waiting for him to comfort him. He doesn't know how to appease or arrest criminals now. These words cannot be said easily. He is a super mutant like Magneto. Please make an idea quickly. When Victor was frowning, the office door was pushed open, and the panicked pushed secretary in directly, sweating profusely and looking nervous. He doesn't care about etiquette and gentlemanly demeanor. If this thing doesn't work well, they will all be dismissed from get out of class. Wait, let me think about it again. Think about it again. Victor rubbed his hands, paced back and forth, lowered his head and thought about countermeasures. Forget it, sir, it's too late. Go out now and find any excuse to get rid of the problem. The secretary took a look and thought of a way to get rid of the blame. Don't worry about so many things. Yes. Shirk it. Get away quickly, it won't affect me anyway. Victor's eyes lit up and he immediately clarified his thoughts. He could not take the responsibility on himself and leave it to others. Just do what you say. Victor, who wants to understand, immediately walks out. Why does he care so much? Just get rid of him. The square of the City Hall building was already a sea of people. It was a sea of people and there was no place to stay. Fake. These guys are causing trouble. Anyway, these people are unemployed and have nothing to do. As soon as Victor saw it, he began to guess. This was not a weekend, and all the people here were idle. As an explanation, we need to live safely. Give us an explanation why the prison on Chris Island was attacked. It's too dangerous, Mr. Governor. Even if Chris Island is an island, if a prisoner escapes by swimming, how can our safety be guaranteed? Yeah, we need to explain. There are more security guarantees. Yes, we won't leave unless you give me an explanation. I'm not leaving. If someone took the lead, it would be better to follow suit and start making noises. For a moment, the crowd was furious and boiling emotions broke out. Someone is obviously instigating this, and Victor seems to have a clear conscience in his heart. Naturally, he will not let this trouble continue. Taking over the secretary's loudspeaker, Victor spoke directly. Everyone. If you want to hear me explain the situation, please be quiet, otherwise you won't hear anything. He only said this, and most of the crowd slowly calmed down. Other troublemakers must not show up, otherwise they will be noticed. After seeing this, Victor sorted out his thoughts for a moment before continuing to speak. Everyone, I will inform everyone about the exact news we have received. Everyone knows that the prisoners in Chris Island prison are all extremely vicious people, right? Many of them are gangsters, drug lords, etc. Their men planned this prison robbery battle. Victor yelled at the top of his lungs and pushed the blame directly to some drug lord, gangster, etc. Anyway, everyone hated such a terrorist, so he was the best person to take the blame. Of course, not everyone would leave so easily, and someone immediately asked, Mr. Governor, what you said seems to make sense, but who can guarantee that no fish will slip through the net and dive away? Yes, what should I do if I escape to take revenge on society? The people there are all crazy and perverted. Yes, Mr. Governor, please assure us that our lives are safe. Fake. Victor secretly cursed, these thorns. He pressed his hands hard against the crowd that was about to boil again, and continued to shout at the top of his lungs, don't worry, we can be sure that no one has escaped from the prison. If anyone can catch the prisoner who escaped from Chris, the city government will reward him. $5 million, money touches people's hearts. I don't know what else is more convincing than this. Victor immediately made a ruthless move. He knew that none of the ordinary prisoners escaped, but all the heavy-duty prisoners were captured by the mutants. Sure enough, upon hearing this, the eyes of this group of people lit up. 5 million. Now I don't have to work for the rest of my life, and I can live a very comfortable life. So the crowd dispersed in a hurry. In the free America, anyone who is an adult can apply to buy a gun. They all went to wander around Chris Island. Even if they escaped, they were still running for their lives, and they didn't have any weapons in their hands. S.H.I.E.L.D. was extremely solemn here. Nick Fury looked at the satellite surveillance with a dark face. He knew immediately from his figure that the guy was Chen Xi. Captain, what do you think about this? Nick Fury looked up at the silent man beside him. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96, Captain America: Steve's Rebirth. The person next to Nick Fury is naturally none other than Captain America. Steve, who has just woken up from the freeze. Captain America, who has just woken up, is still very confused. He is only temporarily living under the command of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now his appearance has made many people sleepless at night. Countless official organizations are working on his ideas he worked so hard for. Everyone who came to act as lobbyists was kicked out. S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't care what kind of organization you are. They are in charge of the United States in name, but they are a worldwide organization. Steve, dressed in stars and stripes, looked at the godlike man in the video and couldn't help but feel shocked in his heart. He sighed sadly. Have I been eliminated by the times? Why are there such godlike people in the world? And laughing, the enemy was suddenly defeated, and the rain of bullets in the sky seemed like nothing. The invisible shield allowed bullets to pour out, and time and space seemed to be condensed when he raised his hand. These miracles deeply subverted Steve's inherent worldview. In his time, he was what people call a Superman, but what is he seeing now? Is it God? Director Nick, do you think I have been eliminated? There is no need for the super soldier Steve Rogers in this era. Steve looked at Nick Fury with a lonely expression, as if he could give him the answer. What did Nick Fury say? Did he say he was eliminated? Then he is a fool. Now his main purpose is to stabilize Steve, join their shield, and use his appeal to form the Avengers. America Steve is the superhero that the country and the people need. Force can never measure a person's strength. His strength is only his personal strength, and you. Give all Americans strong spiritual strength. The American people need you. You can bring them strength. Cheer up, Captain America Steve Rogers. Nick Fury is worthy of being a leader in the MLM world. He has deceived one powerful person after another. He is so eloquent. These words directly ignited Steve's passion. The people of America need him. This sentence was enough. He seemed to have found his first goal since his resurrection, serving the United States. Steve stood up with a swish of energy, and he was full of energy. He said loudly with the fullest enthusiasm, "Please rest assured, Director Nick Fury, Super Soldier Steve Rogers understands. It's better now. America is so lucky that you can cheer up. Welcome back, Soldier Steve Rogers." Nick Fury solemnly saluted Steve, and his next sentence of returning to the team completely pulled Steve into his team. When Steve heard the words soldiers returning to the army, he was even more excited and burst into tears. He seemed to have returned to the passionate days of the past. He returned the salute vigorously and shouted loudly, "Yes, sir." Steve's official joining makes Nick Fury feel that all the efforts are worth it. Regarding Chen Xi's behavior, he can only secretly observe his purpose at present, if he really wants to summon Carol to return. Nick Fury came back to his senses and said to Steve, "Captain, you go back and rest first. I'll ask Sharon Carter to walk around with you and adapt to this era." Sharon Carter. Steve was in a trance. "Peggy Carter, are you still alive? Maybe he's really gone?" he asked nervously. What is the relationship between Sharon Carter and Peggy Carter? Is Peggy still alive? After waking up, he was thinking about Peggy and the unfinished date. Nick Fury smiled and said, "You guessed it right. Sharon Carter is Peggy Carter's niece, and Peggy is still alive. You can go meet Peggy. I think she will be very excited to see you alive. She has no regrets." "Is this true?" Steve asked with his eyes widened and even more excited than before. "Of course, it's true." Nick Fury smiled and nodded. "Ha. Great, I'm going to find her now. I can't wait." Steve fell into ecstasy. His sky lit up, his face turned red and he covered his head. Everything was so unbelievable. "Okay, I'll let you go now." After Nick Fury finished speaking, he shouted toward the door, "Agent Sharon Carter, come in." As soon as he finished speaking, the door opened, and a beautiful agent who looked somewhat similar to Peggy Carter walked in. "Report, Sharon Carter reports to you." Sharon Carter, a beautiful girl who is also one of Steve's future girlfriends, is also Peggy Carter's niece. I have to say that Steve still knows how to play. If Chen Xi knew that he was both aunt and nephew, he would definitely feel inferior. Chapter 97 Chen Xi stirs up trouble. Will the civil war in the Avengers be advanced? When Sharon Carter took Steve to meet her old lover Peggy Carter, Chen Xi was not idle. Now every move of the entire SHIELD is under the surveillance of the Red Queen, including the cameras and audio equipment in Nick Fury's office, which are all means of monitoring him. "Master, we just detected that Nick Fury asked Steve to go to Peggy Carter. He has successfully won over Steve, Now it's become more confusing. It was probably Alexander Pierce who threatened Sharon Carter with Peggy Carter's life. These old foxes are really interesting. They have gone too far in their calculations and conspiracy. Now's attention is on Steve and they are all trying to figure out his plans." The Red Queen listened to all the key information from Nick Fury and Pierce, which shocked her. Really a palace battle drama, not too exciting at all. With all kinds of forces appearing in full force in his estimation, there must be other forces secretly observing Steve's every move. "Red Queen, you can check the information about the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, from Pierce's computer and see where he's hiding in Siberia. Since they are all here, we have to let them have fun. The water must be mixed as turbidly as possible, otherwise I will be sorry for my hard work in fishing Steve out. This quagmire must be chaotic and draw into this chaos, so that we can fish in troubled waters." Chen Xi touched his chin and laughed. Now the whole of New York is in chaos. The center of the storm is Steve, so why not add Bucky? Civil war ahead of schedule? It's interesting. Directly explode all the contradictions. I am tired of waiting for so long. Stop pretending, show your cards. I'm just tired of it. This time let's see how Steve handles it and how Nick Fury faces Tony Stark. The Red Queen is so fast that the entire SHIELD defense system is useless in front of her. and Pierce's personal computer defense is naturally useless. Found it, a Hydra base at 33 degrees north latitude and 65 degrees east longitude, northeast of the Arkadeos Mountains in Siberia. Now he has just performed a certain task and fell into a passive state of sleep again. The Red Queen immediately reported the exact location of the Hydra base to Chen Xi, which was very efficient. Okay, is this right? Chen Xi nodded, and the matter became clear. Oh, it's true. I really don't have many people under my command. It seems that my Justice League is about to be built. The boss always does it himself. Then I am so shameless, right? Chen Xi thought about it. He was too cheap. He had to do everything by himself. He had no one under him. In order to make yourself look more powerful, you have to pull up the team. With a wave of your hand, thousands of juniors rush upward. That scene is what a boss should have. Look at the purple sweet potato spirit, the 5 black generals, and the army of billions of Chitauri, which is full of force. After a while, Chen Xi teleported directly over. This was indeed Siberia. This October season was as cold as winter. Unfortunately, this bullshit Hydra knows how to choose a place. Only ghosts will come to places where birds don't poop, not many people for hundreds of kilometers around, so he really wouldn't be exposed. Red Queen, can you hack into the network here? Chen Xi suddenly asked. Master, the signal here has been cut off. I can't get in. They will only connect to the internet when they are in contact with the outside world. The Red Queen's helpless voice came. There was nothing she could do in a place without internet. Oh, forget it. It doesn't matter. Chen Xi shrugged and didn't care at this moment. The moment Chen Xi arrived, the Hydra base had discovered his existence. Isn't it very strange that someone suddenly comes to this desolate and remote place? Sir, there is a person outside. He is sneaky and I don't know what his purpose is. The soldiers in the control room immediately reported the incident. After hearing this, the base commander frowned and lowered his head and thought out. If you can catch them alive, catch them alive. If you can't catch them, just kill them. He made a decision in the next second. No matter what, he would be captured or killed. Yes, sir. As soon as the soldiers heard this, they immediately prepared to go out and arrest Chen Xi. However, before they could make any move, the entire base began to shake violently. Building is deforming. Oh no. Help. Help. The metal is moving and deforming. Mutants. We have never had any grudges with mutants. Why? In an instant, the entire Hydra base was in chaos. Everyone yelled in terror and began to run away frantically along the passage. If they didn't run, it would be too late. They only wished that their parents would lose 2 legs. P.S. Friends, can you help me recommend books in Shuhuang Square and other places? Chapter 98. At this moment, his voice spreads around the world. The beams of the Hydra base are collapsing, the soil, sand and gravel are no longer distinguishable, and the entire base is actually being destroyed. Every room is collapsing. Huge rocks, steel and concrete are smashing into the ground, desks, and various instruments and equipment for free. It was like a strong earthquake in the base, which was directly uprooted by Chen Xi's terrifying magnetism. Countless Hydra soldiers, as well as the management and squad leaders, flare to death. But where can we escape? The elevator and passageways are damaged. The base was in a mess at the moment, with ruins and walls everywhere as far as the eye could see. The dense and busy scene just now was long gone, and the base that looked like science fiction was also destroyed. Chen Xi stood tall on the ruins, terrifying magnetism burst out from his palms, and the invisible power seemed to come from the judgment of death. He gave the already ruined Hydra base a hard grip, and then Chen Xi looked sharply, and a cold light suddenly appeared. Wake me up. The deep voice was like the final verdict. As Chen Xi raised his hand fiercely, the terrifying magnetic storm caused the entire base to slowly rise like a reaction force. Boom. Boom. This mountain range is filled with rolling stones, and it looks like it has been bombarded by countless super missiles, and it has blossomed. The dust brought up filled the sky, and the huge movement was heard by residents hundreds of miles away, and even alerted the entire Maozi Kingdom's defenders with both legs, and flew freely in the air while grabbing the 7 or 8 kilometers long mountain range under the horrified eyes of countless satellites. They went completely crazy. Countless people stared at his actions in stunned silence. There were no words or exclamations. Some were just terrified and silent. Silence. Is this still a human being? No. It's beyond human reach. Stunned. Because Chen Xi was flying all the way, discovered that people kept falling from the mountains and their lives were unknown. Especially Mao Zedong. Their defense chief looked horrified and frightened. They saw that those who fell to death were soldiers wearing Hydra logo clothing. This is the great irony. Their biggest enemy is actually hiding in their hinterland and they don't know anything about it. If the man hadn't dug them out of the mountains, they might never have discovered it. With such an enemy in our own hinterland, if one day we detonate an atomic bomb, the consequences can be imagined. As he thought about it, his back was slowly wet with cold sweat, and there were fine beads of sweat on his forehead. This was terrible. Thank God, thank the Eastern God, he saved countless people of Maozi Kingdom. The defense chief of Mao Zedong quietly wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and couldn't help but murmur to himself. Suddenly, his eyes turned cold, and murderous intent suddenly appeared. Come here, please send an order now. Use metal detectors and life detectors to search all mountains and wastelands across the country. I don't believe it. If you can find one Hydra base, there will be 2, 3 or even 10. There are quite a lot of wasteland and mountains in the country, and these rats can hide really deep. The chief of defense decisively issued the order. No matter how long this operation lasts and how much manpower, material and financial resources are spent, it must be carried out. National security and people's safety are paramount. The messenger yelled EULA and immediately began to notify the garrison in various places. Similarly, the top brass of the United States, Hydra's mortal enemy, were also shocked. Their victory decades ago turned out to be fake. Their opponents are now alive and kicking. The Hydra base was pulled up by Chen Xi. It was like a hard slap on their faces. The loud slap made their faces swollen and painful. Everyone's face was burning. It hurts. This has been a false honor for half a century, and they have been secretly laughed at by Hydra many times for what they did. Now that it is made public, it will cause a loss of face. The Secretary of State was even more angry and yelled, FK, FK. Damn Hydra. What a bunch of filthy creatures that are haunting. Come here. Come here. Give me the order. Now all the mountains and Gobi deserts in the United States have to dig 3 feet of ground. This group of scum in the dark must not only be hiding in Maozi Kingdom, there must be some here as well. The video conference on the parliamentary side was passed immediately, and the speed was jaw-dropping. This is their shame, which must be washed away with blood. At this moment, high-level officials all over the world are watching Chen Xi's next actions, and his every move affects the hearts of the world. Is he destroying? Or revenge comes to ambitious villains or crazy villains who destroy them purely for the sake of destruction? If you wanted to cause destruction and carry out terrorist attacks, would you still wait until this time? The answer is no. A few minutes later, Chen Xi came to a more desolate permafrost plateau, where innocent people would not be harmed. He threw the Hydra base hard and came into close contact with the ground. Boom. A shocking sound was heard, and people within a dozen miles around could clearly feel the earth shaking. Even if the ground was made of hard frozen soil, a huge crater 2 meters deep was created. All the soldiers in the Hydra base were beaten to death. In Chen Xi's perception, only the Winter Soldier survived while holding the pillar. Chapter 99 Chen Xi, call me Lei Hong. At this moment, the entire human hierarchy is paying attention to what Chen Xi will do next and what he wants to get. It's no joke to go to such great lengths to uproot the Hydra base without any hesitation. What is his purpose? Everyone stared at him, holding their breath, without blinking, for fear of missing some crucial moment. Standing proudly in the air, Chen Xi immediately sensed the location of Bucky, the Winter Soldier, through telepathy. Bucky, who was telepathically speaking, had a confused expression on his face and was hugging a concrete pillar. I have to say that this guy's reaction was really fast. When he felt himself taking off, he grabbed the pillar next to him. He guessed that he was going to fall, but he didn't know what happened. Being able to lift a base with a mountain directly out of the ground, is this something that a human being can do? He immediately ruled out manpower, and only thought that it was a state machine that took action. Seeing Bucky's appearance, Chen Xi smiled. Is this the Winter Soldier who has no consciousness and can only follow orders? It's just a big horse monkey. It's so funny. Chen Xi almost died laughing. Range-broken instruments, scattered weapons and ammunition, and all kinds of materials are dazzling. This is a small city. It is conceivable how long they have been in business. Everyone is horrified by the forbearance of Hydra. The poisonous snakes that spy in secret are the most deadly to the Winter Soldier's location and prepared to take him away. This time, his goal was achieved. Hey, Bucky, come with me and I'll take you to meet your old friend Steve Rogers. Chen Xi looked at Bucky with a smile and said, who knew that Bucky didn't say anything at all, and just punched Chen Xi. He was really a typical example of a ruthless person who doesn't talk much. It's just that his robotic arm has 4 tons of power, and it will be very painful if he is hit by it. Boom. There was a dull impact sound, and Bucky's mechanical arm hit an invisible wall hard, which was of course useless. Haha, you are disobedient. It seems that I am no longer so polite to you. In this case, just be obedient. Seeing the sneer on Chen Xi's face, Bucky was about to attack again, but his robotic arm began to move and twist. Click. In less than 3 seconds, Bucky roared crazily, and the mechanical arm twisted and tore off the link directly. The pain was unforgettable, like having his arm rip off deeply. The nerves are connected. How can you slowly spin your arm 360 degrees and then tear it off? Who can bear it? Bucky immediately fell to his knees in pain, covered his broken arm and began to howl. Woke up, and his brain couldn't process so much information for a while, but he finally regained consciousness. I remembered, I am Bucky Barnes. I was captured by Hydra and experimented on. Bucky finally remembered who he was and he was caught. Who are you? He finally eased his pain a little and looked at Chen Xi, the only living person in the ruins. You don't need to know who I am. You just need to know that I am a good person who saves you. Your arm was broken and needs immediate treatment. I'll send you to Steve Rogers. He can take care of you. Chen Xi was talking nonsense here in a serious manner, making Bucky, who had no memory of it before, bewildered. Yes, that's right, Bucky believed it. Psychic suggestion is also very useful. It is best used to deceive people who do not know what is going on. When Chen Xi said that he knew Steve, Bucky believed him instantly. He knew Steve, so he was safe without saying a word. Bucky immediately agreed in agreement. Thank you, you are such a good person. Alice, I don't know how long I have been in coma, and I have no memory at all. You're too polite. Let's go. Chen Xi waved his hand and said very generously. Yet, I may repay you if I have a chance in the future, Bucky said in a low voice in pain. That's great, what a great person. He staggered to his feet, tore off his clothes, gritted his teeth in pain and simply stopped the bleeding before walking out. Seeing Chen Xi motionless, Bucky couldn't help turning around and asked, why don't you leave? This is a Hydra base, and there are dangers everywhere. Chen Xi shook his head. I have a better way. What? As soon as Bucky asked why, he felt dazzled in front of his eyes. With a flash of dazzling blue light, he came to the edge of a small wilderness. Bucky almost peed with fear. If I didn't bring this, could it be that I had been unconscious for too long? The technology here is so advanced. He looked at Chen Xi shocked with wide eyes, tongue-tied, and stammered, what is going on? High technology, Chen Xi nodded, more or less, just treat it as high-tech. Steve is inside, aren't you going in? Bucky asked doubtfully. Such good people in this era. Okay, please call me Lei Hong. After Chen Xi finished speaking, he disappeared without a trace. Chapter 100. Bucky broke his arm and Steve went crazy. Lei Bang? I remember it. Bucky looked at the air in front of him and murmured softly. He turned around and looked at the villa in front of him. It was a bit modern, but it wasn't much higher than his time. It probably didn't have a similar style for many years. This felt a bit ridiculous. He thought of the high technology Chen Xi mentioned just now, and suddenly felt so stupid. Forget it, who doesn't have a secret of his own? If he doesn't tell it, of course he has his own reasons. Bucky took a deep breath to relax his painful expression and look a little more normal. Ding dong. Ding dong. Many years he was nervous, excited, and even more impatient. He took big breaths and tried to calm himself down. At this time, the door opened and Sharon Carter walked out of the house. She looked at the guy in front of her who was covered in blood and was dressed in ragged clothes. She was suddenly caught off guard in confusion and asked, what's going on with you? Are you being hunted, Chase? Bucky was stunned for a moment, then suddenly lowered his head and realized that he really looked like he was being hunted, didn't he? These clothes, this hairstyle, and this blood stain, it makes you look like you are being hunted. No, excuse me, is this the home of Steve Rogers? I'm looking for him, no matter what, ask first before talking. Steve Rogers, that's right, sorry, this is my Aunt Peggy Carter's house, but Steve is here too. When Sharon Carter heard this, she looked carefully and saw that the person in front of her looked really familiar. Peggy Carter? Ha ha ha. They are really together, his wounds no longer hurt. They were particularly optimistic about Steve and Peggy back then, so it's really not surprising that they are getting together now. Are you Bucky Barnes from the Howling Commandos? Captain America, Steve's closest comrade, Sharon Carter looked at him in shock, her eyes full of disbelief. How many years has it been? Didn't he die long ago? Oh my god, another one injected with super soldier serum? Sharon Carter looked at the seriously injured Bucky and quickly invited him into the house. Steve? Steve? And, come on. Something big has happened. Something big has happened. Sharon Carter walked and shouted, calling out to Steve, and Peggy. Eyes were facing each other, and everyone was stupidly motionless, just looking at each other quietly. We meet again after a long separation. Things have changed and people have changed. I didn't expect that they would meet again. Isn't this God's mercy, Steve? Peggy. Bucky looked at them with his mouth moving, eyes filled with tears, and his body shaking violently. Bucky, their eyes, covering their mouths with their hands, looking at Bucky in disbelief. Woohoo. It's so great to see you. I thought I would never get another chance in this life. My brother. Steve. Bucky rushed to Steve crying, hugged him fiercely and slapped his shoulders, pouring out his excitement. Steve also couldn't hold back his tears, crying with joy and hugging Bucky, unable to control himself. In this situation, what a good gay friend and quilt. Peggy watched the scene where the brothers reunited and was really happy for them. The world has changed, the years have passed by, and there is no old friend or friend around. It is like they have been forgotten by time. It must be God's mercy to meet each other now. The two finally calmed down, still looking at each other excitedly, only to hear Steve say sadly, "Bucky, you must be having a hard time." This simple sentence made Bucky cry again. This is his closest brother. Steve felt sad when he saw Bucky's ragged appearance covered in blood, and tears welled up again. It's okay, I'm still alive, right? Bucky couldn't bear Steve's sadness and quickly comforted him. When he stretched out his left hand, he suddenly found that only a tattered cuff was left. Sorry. Bucky was in a daze looking at his bleeding arm, and thought of the pain again. At this time, Steve finally discovered something was wrong. He raised his hand and gently touched Bucky's cuffs, slowly and solemnly. No. Steve's eyes widened with anger and he yelled repeatedly. He didn't believe it. His brother would be hurt to this extent. Who is it? Who is it? I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. I must kill him. Kill him. How dare he hurt Bucky like this? How dare he? Steve has never felt such hatred. Killing intent. His eyes suddenly turned blood red, and he suddenly lost his mind. P.S. Please give me some small gifts, the big plot is coming. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.